Did you guys watch that 95-minute koozie shootout move?
That was pretty great.
God.
Hey, everybody. We're live. Welcome to the Hockey Podcast Network live stream. You are scheduled to watch the Winnipeg Jets and the Colorado Avalanche go head to head in Game 5, elimination game perhaps. But at the moment, that's not on. So we're just sitting here bullshitting.
What do you know that we don't know, Chance? Because it kind of sounded like you said it was over.
I mean, I don't know, man. We talked about it before on our show. By the way, we're the Dusty Bender podcast crew. You should check us out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Find us on Twitter. We say clever, funny things sometimes. On the Dusty Bender podcast, we talked about how, I think all of our picks were Winnipeg. And I think a large amount of that was that we thought Connor Hellebuyck was going to carry over from the season to the playoffs. And unfortunately for the Jets, that has not been the case.
Correct.
And I'd like to be able to sit here and be like a real knowledgeable know-it-all hockey analyst and say like, well, it's deeper than that. And there's these X factors at play. And honestly, it's the main reason. Like, Connor Hellebuyck is not having a good series. And
I think it's more the people in front of him.
Really?
So,
his save percentage is like 880 or something.
Yeah. So I looked it up because I knew we were going to talk about it. So in the regular season, the Jets defense gave up 2.8 expected goals per game. This has been the playoffs so far. 4.4, 3.8, 4.8, 5.2. They have a worse expected goals against than the San Jose Sharks.
Yuck.
In the playoffs this year. Like, that's how bad. Like, Connor Hellebuyck has not been great. But also the guys in front of him have been giving up like tap-in chances and breakaways and bad.
Well,
they have not played good defense in front of him. So it's and those two things combined are how the Jets would win a series. So it's been brutal.
But we've said that before. Like, all the defense under normal circumstances, all the Jets defense needs to be is average.
Yeah.
Because they have an all-star goalie behind them, and like they're not good. Like, anybody looks at that defense and you're like, it's fine. It's nothing to cry home about. You don't really have a top defenseman, I guess. Like,
depending on how you feel about Josh Morrissey,
yeah, Josh Morrissey, dude. I mean, he's
here's a question.
That's like Vince Dunn is the top defenseman. Like, no, nothing mean to Vince Dunn. I love Vince Dunn, but Vince Dunn is the top defenseman by default for the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
Whereas that's kind of this case. Like, if you take him and you put him on, say, Carolina, where is he going to stack up? Second line?
Two or three. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many remaining playoff teams is Josh Morrissey the number one defenseman?
Islanders, maybe.
Yeah. Like, if you're still saying
Dobson
the Islanders are alive.
Season,
yeah. If you're saying Dobson, if they're still alive, but I don't think of any of the remaining teams. Like, he's certainly not number one on any team in the East that's still remaining.
I mean, maybe the Leafs.
Maybe Toronto, you could coin flip him and Morgan Riley, I guess.
Sure.
But the guys in the West, he's not number one in Vegas. He's not number one in Dallas. He's not number one in Vancouver. He's not number one in Nashville. He's, and I like Josh Morrissey quite a bit, but he's not, he just is what he is, right?
Agreed. So you can't expect the Jets defense to be elite. You have to just expect them to be okay. And then Connor Hellebuyck carries the ball the rest of the way. And that just hasn't been happening. They've been playing sub-average defense, and he has not been there to bail them out, which is you weren't expecting it. But
because that's what they bank on, right? We said it even at the beginning of the season, right?
He might win the Vezina.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If he should win the Vezina. If the Jets were going to do anything this year, it's Hellebuyck just fucking dragging them by their coattails, right?
Right.
I think it's kind of similar to the Kraken stuff, right? Where the Kraken, they differ in this sense last year as, their goaltending was shit and their defense was also shit. This is, you're just getting an unexpected situation from your number one goaltender and one of the best goaltenders in the league. Right. And I think a big theme with this whole matchup though has been the late comebacks, right? Like I think, not being able to hold a lead and things like that has kind of come back and bit Winnipeg in the ass too. So, I don't know. There's a lot of different factors that go in. You can't just say it's all Hellebuck. I think there's, that applies to coaching, and that can come into, just getting ready for fucking third periods. Right. So,
yep. And outside of the first game, I don't know that the Winnipeg forward group has really carried their weight.
Right.
No. 870. It's even worse than I said. All right. We got puck drop. 870 is horrific. Like that's just unacceptable for a playoff goalie. It just is. Like even if you've got a bad defense in front of you, you've got to play better than that. And I think even Winnipeg fans know it. But I've watched, I would say probably half of both of game 3 and 4. And the Jets have been a step behind, man. It's been rough, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Jets banging one home early.
There you go. They needed it, dude.
Get the whiteout rocking.
That's right. Where's Salmon Shirt though, dude? We gotta get Salmon Shirt in the screen.
How sick is the whiteout in Winnipeg, by the way? What a barn. That's got to be so unreal to play in.
I heard an argument that they really want, like, there's a push by a few teams, like the playoff teams, home teams should be able to choose what jerseys they want to wear at home. Like, it'd be kind of interesting to see the Jets choose to wear white at home.
Fuck. Manson threw that.
I'm okay with that.
Manson threw that off his forward. He threw it off Lehkonen into his own net.
God, my stream is way behind you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, thank you, Gary Bettman. I'm like a minute and a half behind you. Jesus.
So
literally, you said goal, and I'm like, the puck is dropping. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Manson tries to clear, throws it off Lehkonen's ass, and it bounces back in their own net.
Bold strategy.
What a fucking goal.
Oh, you're way behind. All right, so Aaron, you go for it.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys what's happening.
Yeah,
from the fucking
here's
future.
What's gonna happen. That's huge, though.
Yeah, that's a huge start. That's what they needed for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? If they can pull this one off, they got to go into Colorado and steal one. But I mean, being in the whiteout for potential Game 7, it gives them a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them a shot. I mean, I think the big thing here, right, is just looking back over the 4 games. 22 goals against in 4 games for the Winnipeg Jets. I think you can put a lot of that on Hellebuck. I think you can put some of that on the D. That is, in the last 3 games, Winnipeg has scored 5 goals. Colorado hasn't scored less than 5 goals in any of those 3 games. So, I mean, they've got issues all over the place. Obviously, letting in 22 goals in 4 games isn't great, but also
like Colorado has looked like
cup.
They look like the cup winning Colorado. Like they've just been a wagon in these first 4 games. Like it's been like, Winnipeg's defense has been not great, and Hellebuck hasn't been great, but Colorado has capitalized on like every chance they've been given.
Yeah, it's the Gorgiev revenge tour, man.
And Gorgiev has been awesome. Like,
he
obviously game 1 was a mess, but like after that, he's been like
he's
exactly what you would say Colorado needs, and that is good enough. And he's kept them in it, and then their offense has been on fire. Like it's been cool.
Yeah,
it's been a fun series to watch, even though it's been pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, in general, we've kind of had that, right? Like, I mean, we've already got some teams moving on. There's a good chance that we're going to see another team move on tonight, and fuck, I mean, we could see all 4 games today. All 4 of those teams move on.
Oh man, Avalanche just tied it up.
God damn it, Aaron! Can I even watch this game, or are you just gonna narrate it?
Look, someone has to be living in reality. Someone has to be keeping the viewers up on what's actually happening.
We're living in the past.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, well, that's I mean, again, like we were talking about it, like you're hoping that like you expect Georgiev to make those dumb plays and you miss those dumb goals, but like Hellebuck just can't. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still not fucking there. Apparently, the game's still 1-0 on my feed. So.
Oh, there it is. Finally cooked through.
Yeah, it was Nichushkin on the back door. Like Hellebuck didn't have a chance.
Okay. Nichushkin with a little fucking playoff hattie last game too. Welcome to the game.
It takes me to the Boston game. Great,
dude. I was watching. What's the? It's not pickleball, but maybe it is pickleball. It's the one that they play, like the pros play in the fucking cage and shit. The ball makes it's like racquetball, pickleball combo. I don't know, but are
you talking about badminton? I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, it's not badminton. Like the ball is like it's like fucking racquetball, but
okay.
I don't know. It's in like a cage. Either way, I was trying to watch this game, and it literally is just every single.
Were you watching it on ESPN8, the Ocho?
Dude, it felt like it. I seriously like thought I was watching Average Joe's Gym.
Taylor, did I ever tell you about when Katie and I we were at a bar. We were at a bar and they had rock skipping, like competitive rock skipping on ESPN8, the Ocho.
Really sick.
That's so dope.
It was just these like the most stereotypical like granola people you can imagine.
Yeah.
Just on a pond, just letting it rip for like 30 skips.
Sponsored by Birkenstock.
Right. Jesus. By the way, for those who are caring, there is a OT hockey going on. Boston and Toronto. My stream is at 18-18 in overtime.
Yeah, those small market teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of them?
My stream continues to have an aneurysm. I think I might be back at puck drop. So
yeah, you're gonna relive the whole moment.
Yeah. It scores 0-0 again on mine. So
hey, Chance, over under 1 goal through 5 minutes in this Colorado Winnipeg game.
Oh.
You should.
I don't know.
You should have the auto bet on that one.
You'd think so. Did you get to see that Dave & Buster's is letting people gamble on the games now?
Hell yeah!
Did you? Yeah. Was it like you can bet on skee ball? Like if you beat your friend at skee ball, like
something like that. Yeah.
The Leafs win it.
Is that official?
RJ?
That is official.
Got it.
Is that official? Who got it?
Oh,
Tavares, of course, fucking called it.
I'm showing Matthew Nyes, but Tavares
is it really?
There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Damn.
That's for Matty Nyes. I love that kid.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm a big Matty Nyes fan.
I did kind of want to see Toronto lose just because of all the fans like
they're gonna lose
already. But I wanted them. There was fans already packing it in. I was like, come on, guys, have a little bit of faith.
No, they're gonna lose. Like they're gonna lose the series. Unfortunately, this is what the Leafs are gonna leave, man. Like I think even their biggest cheerleader, what's his name, who screams a lot.
Sir screams a lot.
Yeah, I think that's like his MO.
Oh, Dangle.
Yeah, Dangle. I think Dangle. Oh yeah, that was definitely nice. Yeah, nice little bang home goal. I don't like seeing Leafs fans happy, but whatever. It's very unfortunate. But in any case, that series, like Dangle's like they're gonna claw back to 7 and we'll lose in 7.
Yeah, that can happen, but why are you still predicting that you're like we're gonna get to 7 and then we're just gonna fucking lose? Like
that's been their MO.
Leafs gonna
right?
leave, man. Yeah. Leafs gonna leave.
Have some fucking confidence, man. What if the Dallas Stars team was like, yeah, we'll just phone it in after 2-0 on the fucking home ice?
What a weird. The only close series really in the whole playoffs, honestly.
Oh yeah. That's the only one. I mean, if Leafs win did win tonight, so that one makes it a little closer. But yeah, 2-2. That's a fucking good series, man.
Yeah. No,
home team hasn't won a game.
Isn't that nuts?
It's crazy. That's so rare, dude. That's so fucking rare.
Rick Bowness is 1-7 all time when facing playoff elimination. Is that good?
I mean, you'd like to be a little better.
He's only been behind the bench for like 40 years, so
Oh, it's perfect.
It's a sample size problem, really.
Yeah,
problem that's definitely they needed to add some additional variables in there. I don't think their data was clean enough.
Yeah,
that's so bad.
What's going on, man? I do not know where that is. It kind of looks like you'd mashed the keys, but I welcome, and I would love to know where that. I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm very curious about where that is.
That's not as fun as guessing, but you can look it up.
You're way north. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds super north.
No, that is all the way north. That is like the most northern territory of Canada.
Thank you for braving the elements and fighting polar bears to watch this stream. We appreciate you.
Dude, I wasn't even that north when I was living in Alaska, and I mean, people make polar bear jokes and igloo jokes all the damn time. Like, that's north, dude. Most north I've ever been is Fairbanks, Alaska. That's probably still like 600 miles south on the fucking, what is that, latitude, longitude?
Right.
Latitude, yeah.
Good on you, dude. That's so far.
And I was going to say, didn't you say that that's the worst place you've ever been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kugaruk Nunvat is better though.
We definitely butchered that pronunciation.
I butchered that pretty good. Hopefully I got a little close.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you guys are just joining the stream, welcome. We are watching the Colorado Winnipeg game. We are the hosts of the Dusty Bender podcast. You can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out. We like to think that we say some pretty smart hockey things, but also we're kind of funny. So check us out and love our show. We'd also like to have guest host Bobby Ryan on sometimes.
Occasionally.
And Bobby's an absolute beaut.
When he can put up with us.
Yep. He's actually kind of set up to be coming on next week for the round 2 preview.
Oh man, is it? It's already coming up, huh?
Already coming up on it.
4s and 5s here.
Yep. Last, if there is any game 7s, they'll wrap up this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll be looking at, what is it usually, like a 2 or 3 day layover, and then they go into round 2?
Dude,
yeah,
I mean
like that.
I mean, I think it depends when stuff's set up, right? Like,
gotcha. The problem honestly might be Vegas and Dallas.
Hey, there we go. We got some stragglers from the Boston Toronto series. Welcome, viewers. Welcome.
Yeah, like Boston or not Boston. Dallas and Vegas might screw up the schedule for everyone else. They might be done in 5, and then we just gotta wait for these two wagons to just grind each other into dust.
That one's going. Well, I think we all predicted that was going to 7 on our show. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think we were split, right? We were 2 and 2. I think didn't Bobby take?
No,
Bobby
he was
Vegas too. Right?
No, it was 3-1. And the only person that picked Vegas was Chance. Because Bobby's cup pick was Dallas.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yep, good old shit, man.
Makes sense. God. Bobby is. I like his pick. I was just going through our picks again, and I was like, God, we mostly agreed on almost everything. And I think one thing that all hockey fans can agree on right now is this fucking commercial. What a pro wants.
Oh no, dude!
Oh god, it's bad, dude.
PTSD.
Like,
dude.
It's one of those. I knew the first time I saw it, it's gonna just irritate the shit out of me. That
I'll take live sports again.
100%.
Oh,
100%, dude. Oh, give me
hockey fans' worst nightmare. It's either you get to choose what a pro wants or live sports.
Give me live sports.
30 for 30
all day. That's 30 for 30.
And give me the other one that I keep seeing is the family with the goal, like the kids playing hockey in their house has the goal horn, and then you hear the goal horn every 5 seconds. Oh my god,
Jesus! Yeah, I've heard that one quite a bit too. God, I'm seeing a split view right now. I've got the Jets Avs game going on, and then like a really good reporter and Leah Hextall.
Oh,
she's holding a very cute golden lab.
What are we? Or is that Vancouver or did she?
She was doing a sideline report at
sideline report in Winnipeg.
I got no problem. Leah Hextall is good.
No,
I like her more in the color. Put her in the color. That's okay. And then between the benches, she's all right.
She's competent as an individual, but like she can't keep up with the play. She can't do play by play.
I don't love her. I don't like her a lot as play by play. The guy that I love in the moment. I could listen to Ray Ferraro talk about a game.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, his like in the moment analysis on like why, like he did Boston Toronto, and he was talking about like why they messed up this 2-on-1 like immediately. It was so good. Like he's so good between the benches.
Did he coach? Did Ferraro coach?
No, he just played. I don't believe he coached anywhere. Yeah, you got like four. You think you have 400 goals in the show?
Just a measly 400.
Yeah, he just messed around and got 400.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all good. God damn it! That's gonna be stuck in my head now too. Like I need to hear it almost in order for it to get out of my head again.
Yep.
God,
can we pull that up on YouTube? Let's get that going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Just wait like 30 seconds.
Well, I'm watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just wait.
Sketchy.
Just wait for the next commercial break, and it's gonna play again. So,
well, maybe they're not playing it in Kazakhstan, where Taylor gets his stream from. So
seriously, dude, I don't know where this is coming from.
It's an illegal bootleg stream. Like the language that it's being broadcast in, he doesn't like. It's an unknown dead language.
100%. Yeah,
dude, I wish I could like legally show you what I'm watching on. Like this screen, like my computer screen is this big, but I can't get it to fucking zoom out. So I'm literally watching on a screen about this big in the middle of my fucking laptop.
Nice. I love that.
That's life,
I love that
baby.
for you.
That's life. Since no one sends me their passwords and shit, it's on you guys, kind of.
I mean, I can't. I'm one of those suckers that has ESPN Plus and still can't fucking watch it. So
because they changed it in the playoffs. It's ESPN, but it's the fucking DirecTV ESPN.
Yeah, it's old hardline cable. So
yeah,
but and nobody has that anymore. So
yeah.
It's
yeah. Oh, shots 9-4. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Ooh. Jets are pressing.
Let's give a little time check here, Aaron. Where are you at?
I'm at 9:20.
Okay, I'm not too far behind you now.
Yeah, I'm less than a minute.
I'm like 15 seconds. So.
Oh no, I'm
close.
I'm so behind the play.
You're doing great, Chance.
Yeah, I mean. Jets came out flying.
Yeah, I don't know if the shots necessarily like shots 9-5. I don't know if that necessarily represents what.
No, they've been. It's one of those ones where like they've been driving possession, which I almost don't love.
Oh, nice
like when you come out and you have all the possession, but then you're still tied. It's like, yeah, you dominated that period or whatever, but then it's like. The other team's gonna get their legs at some point. Like you gotta make
sure.
They need.
And
if they go into the first period tied, that's like a net loss for the Jets.
I think so too.
For how they're playing,
I think so too. And I hate being the home team, right? Like if you're the home team and you've pressed and you've looked good and you still have essentially nothing to show for it, right? Like that just drains you.
Yep. God, it was like that was that Kings Oilers game not too long ago. Like. Kings dominated that fucking hockey game.
Oh, the 1-0, yeah.
Yeah, Redditch just stole a game, which, okay.
Big save day, baby.
Big save
He just came in like Edwin Diaz with the trumpets and just, tossed one more out of the bullpen and just came in with the trumpets.
Who knew that Cam Talbot wasn't the answer? Who could have foreseen this?
No one.
No one. Not one person.
Is this the third year in a row that the Kings will get knocked out? By the
Oilers.
Well, I thought they beat it. Didn't they beat them one year? They beat them.
Yeah, I thought it was the first time. I thought the Kings won that one, but I could be mistaken.
Let's verify that.
Yeah, maybe I want to look that up. I don't think it
hurts my ankle just watching her fucking run, man. I'm so old now, dude. I hurt myself fucking mowing lawns.
That'll happen.
Yeah, it's just miserable.
Jesus.
And then my car decided at 4 a.m. this morning that it didn't want to start. So,
oh shit.
Yep, it's fucking beautiful. It's the way she goes, boys.
Yeah.
Sometimes she goes and sometimes she doesn't.
It was yours, not your wife's?
No, yeah. Luckily, my wife's does have the check engine light on right now. And it's like, this motherfucker's given us issues in the 6 months that we've had it. Like,
yeah, that's not a good sign.
Like, what are we doing?
It's not where you want to be.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lemon. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, overall, it's a good car, but it's like, God damn, I don't want to be I want to be going in there every freaking 2 months.
This is unrelated to that, but because I just saw a promo for it. The one thing I am super excited for, I cannot wait for that fucking Joe Sakic documentary. You guys know that one?
Yep.
Where he signs the offer sheet and they don't know how they have the money, and so like they literally like the proceeds from Air Force One help to fund Joe Sakic's contract. Like
that's pretty dope. That's how sick is it to have a freaking documentary coming out and you're already you used to think of what is it, autobiographies and shit like that, right? Where they're long dead, right? But it's like, yeah, this guy played like 10 years ago. Right?
This is on Joe Sakic's life?
No, so Joe Sakic, he signed an offer sheet to leave the Avalanche. And the Avalanche didn't have the money to match it.
Okay.
And so literally part of the proceeds of the movie Air Force One, Harrison Ford, went to pay Joe Sakic's contract. And there's
shit, I didn't know that.
And there's so that's what that 30 for 30 about, or that documentary about Joe Sakic that's coming out. That's what it's about.
Oh, it's a documentary about Joe Sakic. Okay.
Yeah, it's about that offer sheet specifically. And it was like I think it was the Rangers offered him like $15 million. And the Avalanche just straight up did not have the money to match it. So they were like scrounging together and literally like quite literally Harrison Ford in the movie Air Force One kept Joe Sakic in Colorado.
They had a rubber boot at fucking Safeway and they're just like they're trying to get coins.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's one of the wildest like behind the scenes hockey things in like the history of the sport. It's insane.
Joe goes in, he signs the deal, and he's like, all right, we're gonna pay for the rest of your contract, Joe, but you need to get us a Stanley Cup during that time.
Yeah.
And when he didn't do it, everybody said that Sakic lost his finger in a snowblower, but we all know what really happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
In a fucking press.
You're gonna pay us back that money.
Yeah, it's one of those like truth is stranger than fiction like
right.
moments. Like and for like everyone watching, and if you want, I highly recommend Sean McIndoe's History of the NHL. It's the Down Goes Brown History of the NHL. That book is incredible, and it's full of weird anecdotes like that. Of like one time the refs got caught in a snowstorm, they had to use backup refs, and like
that's crazy.
Like there's just weird stuff about like how the NHL was formed and just ran.
Oh, it was real janky at first.
Oh yeah, and like the reason the NHL existed is literally all the owners. There was like one owner that all the other owners hated, and he was like in a lawsuit. So rather than settle the lawsuit, they just formed a new league and cut that guy out, and that was the NHL. Like the reason the NHL as we know it existed is because in 100 years ago they were like, well, fuck that dude.
Yeah. So, and that's a totally respectable way to handle those kind of problems.
I can't recommend that book enough. It's a fun read, and it just goes through like the history of the league, and then in between each chapter it's weird anecdotes about stupid stuff the NHL has done. And
it's fantastic.
And specifically how there's one part where they talk about how the NHL has never made sense with playoffs. Like there was a 16 league and 4 teams made the playoffs, and the playoffs where the first team plays the third team and the second place team plays the fourth team. So you wanted to be second and not first.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's just like a need to just leave somebody out.
Yeah, so it's like,
that literally makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's full of stuff like that where you're like, oh, this league has always been stupid. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, good. So we're on par.
Yeah, this is not news. Yeah.
We're still doing it. Here we go.
Sean McIndoe, like I honestly do, like 95% of the time I like his stuff, but every once in a while his Toronto bias comes out and it gets a little old. But what he does, and to his credit, he will admit it. He's like, I'm a Toronto.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, he's an unabashed Leaf fan. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever he goes off about like hockey history, it's one of my favorite.
And he's a very good writer. I do like.
He's a great writer. Yeah.
Oh, a little push from Winnipeg there, boys.
I would give commentary, but I'm scared too because everybody else is like way ahead of me. Like, oh, that was a really good shot on goal, and you guys saw it like a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you should.
Morrissey got a great shot on goal. Like I
there
loved
you
it.
see, there you go. See, I was waiting for it. It was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Morrissey cuts down into the zone, takes a great shot. Georgiev with the glove.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely fucking see.
Now I've got. It looks like Will Arnett and LeBron James on roller skates.
Oh yeah,
never mind. It's Jason Sudeikis or whatever.
Jason Sudeikis, yeah.
Sudeikis, yeah. Okay.
He's not the one that was a Marine, is he?
No, that's the other fella.
The guy that looks like, and no, is it
yeah.
Ed Helms? Is Ed Helms the Marine? Okay.
No, well,
Was
maybe,
he?
but no, it's
from
the other
Hangover Office.
He's in the Hangover, but he's the cop that tases what's his face. In the face. He's always that.
Rob Riggle. I'm thinking of Rob Riggle.
Yes,
Rob Riggle is the one who was a Marine.
Yes, he was an actual Marine.
Yeah, it was like him and Adam Driver was a Marine, and
Adam Driver was a Marine.
And I think Drew Carey was also a Marine.
That's Adam Riggle, the guy in Step Brothers. Is he also in Step Brothers? He's like one of the guys that he's like yelling. He's like yelling in his face. What are you talking about?
Yes,
probably.
from The Hangover.
Oh, is he in The Hangover too? Jeez.
Oh, can we also talk about the absolute cringe commercial of like the couple splits up so that the Colorado Avalanche can win?
Oh, and then they see each other at the stadium.
Yeah, and then they're like totally.
That's
cool
a great story, Chance.
That's the most cringe commercial. Like it's not the most annoying, but it's the most cringe. Like when it comes on, I mute it because I can't. It's the reason why it's tough for me to watch The Office. I do like The Office, but it's hard for me to watch it because I have really bad secondhand embarrassment. So like I just go, oh my god, that's so terrible.
How we
I'm
been
so
friends for
glad I
so
have
long,
no
dude?
idea
Like,
what you're talking about. I've somehow
They're like,
what this commercial's about?
They're like
I've
Avs
somehow
fans.
never seen this commercial, and
It's not as common as the others, but it pops up like 2 or 3 times a game. It's like there's this couple, they're Avalanche fans, and like, but they're super like into whatever works to win the Avalanche things, and they realize that if they break up, the Avalanche will win. So they split up, and then they run into each other at the game, and they kind of give each other like they're there with other people, and they give each other like a nice. We made the right call breaking up because now the Avs are winning. And it's it's just weird.
You butchered it. How are you gonna butcher this commercial, bro?
How did I butcher it? What do you mean? That's exactly what it is.
So Aaron, they watch the playoffs every year for the Avs together, and then the one year that they can't be together,
oh my god,
the Avs win, and then they break up because they're like, well, Avs are everything, and then
yeah,
there you go.
Way better.
Where's the fucking? You were
That's so much better.
Damn, that was a good little chance there. 81. That's your boy Connor, isn't it?
He's my boy.
51
throws the puck out the ice down in Colorado zone. There's a foot race going into the corner. They're battling hard right there.
We're having Colorado fans in here.
Johnson grabs the puck, tries to get it up to the point. Oh, and he flies his stick up into the air. And that's going to have a stoppage play. Monahan going to the bench right now, playing with his mouth guard, thinking that he's Patty Kane in 2012.
Okay, if you're going to play-by-play, you got to at least get up to the fucking speed here. Like you're too far behind. 348.
There's no way. I'm at 348. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, you're
like 20
even 10 seconds behind. Yeah, you're 10 seconds behind me.
This is unrelated to what's happening right now, but the thing I saw, so those the Parise and Suter, because the contracts they signed in Minnesota, those contracts expire next year.
That's fucking crazy. That seems like yesterday. That
both of those guys like may still be in the league. Parise probably not. He's probably done after this year, but it's wild that like those contracts are like just now expiring. Like that's insane to me.
That is insane.
I would like to know the longest like lasting contracts on people. Like what was it like? What was that goaltender
Rick DiPietro.
Yeah, DiPietro has like a 40-year contract.
Is he like finally off the books?
I don't think so. That's a good trivia question, man.
God damn. Longest active contract in the NHL.
I think it's still going
in the NHL.
Yeah, he did. He signed like a fucking 12-year or something crazy.
Nuts.
Right the 8-year.
Well, it was
Devils might be paying off Kovalchuk still.
So yeah, I was gonna say if you're counting Kovalchuk, it's Kovalchuk because that was a 15-year contract.
Holy
Dude,
shit!
So glad we don't have those anymore. That's so ridiculous.
Which, in defense of Devils fans, it was allowed at the time. It was retroactively said to have been
illegal. Fair.
Like
Kovalchuk looked really good at the time.
Oh, and at the time, Kovalchuk was awesome. And then, fortunately for Devils fans, he fell off the face of the planet not long after that. Hurricanes officially bounced the Islanders. So, R.I.P.
Yep. R.I.P. Beretti from, what's that fucking golf podcast? Borelli.
Oh, yeah. Borelli.
Oh, he tried to go back across the crease there. That's a nice fucking play, man.
All right, Gustafsson and Rantanen coming up to the center dot right now. Face off down in the Winnipeg zone. Morrissey wraps it around the boards out to center ice. 2:27 left in the first period.
Hey, you're so far back, bro. Time traveling. Sean Walker.
So you guys are coming to be from the future.
Yeah. So Taylor, we went to the Mariners game last night.
Oh, so the Garver bomb.
We saw that. And the dueling no hitters, but it was where we were sitting. There was a TV like just above us, so we watched the pitch live and then look up at the TV to like see the pitch, like where it was with the K zone.
Are you guys down low?
Yeah, we were like the very back of the 100s.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, because they were playing the Braves. I got you. I'm following.
Also, like probably more Braves fans at that game than Mariners fans.
No shit, man.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, what?
On a Monday night, like, yeah, it was packed. Yeah. Like there was a legitimate like chop going on. It was an away game. It was kind of wild, but
big save there, huh?
Yeah. Oh, there's Mark Scheifele.
Oh yeah, a little bit of snow. Is that Gerard?
Where do you guys stand on Mark Scheifele?
No, that's Parise giving him a little fucking snow. Like, where do I stand on him?
Yeah, where are you guys at with Mark Scheifele?
Good hockey player, probably a bad dude in the locker room.
Oh Jesus.
A real Dylan Larkin type, am I right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a Leafs fan. I don't want to murder him. Leafs fans nobody hates the Leafs more than Leafs fans.
Leafs fans want to kill Mark Scheifele?
Leafs fans want to kill Mitch Marner.
Oh, no. Marner.
What I'm saying is like when I don't like a player, I just like don't like the player. Whereas like Leafs fans are like, let's banish him from town.
It's like, remarkable how you turned Mark Scheifele into let's talk about Leaf fans. I just want to say,
well,
this is a real how does this affect the Leafs conversation?
That's true. Well, I do want to talk about because we're about to go into intermission. I'm assuming I'm at 136 right now.
I'm at 110.
Yeah, we're already in intermission.
That's right. I'm slowly catching up in time. So we can't talk about the other series as we come up on that, but with this period wrapping up right now, like 1-1. I mean, do you like the intensity that you see from the Jets, or is it more kind of an even game?
No, it's I mean the Jets came out, like we were saying earlier. The problem that I see for the Jets came out flying. They were ready to go, and they're going to go to the dressing room tied 1-1. So if you're the Avs, you're like, perfect. They came out. We weathered the storm.
Oh,
now we can get into our game.
And that offsides, damn.
Yeah.
And like I'm a little concerned for the Jets going into the dressing room 1-1, given the start you had, especially getting the goal early. Like,
right.
You get the crowd into it a minute in, you give it back, and now you're going to the dressing room tied. Like, I don't know how. If you're Colorado, you take that every day.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to bring up any old Flames, but Paul Maurice said it really well. I think it was game 3 of Florida versus Tampa. He said the home team is always going to have a 10-minute role, right? They're always like, it's just the home ice advantage. You're always going to have at least 1 10-minute roll where the home team's crushing it. And he was basically like, and we just need to make sure that's their only 10-minute roll.
So,
right.
And I
think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that 10 minutes yet from the Jets. This period's looked pretty even, honestly. I know that the Jets are getting outshot by a little bit, but honestly, like, if you're the Jets, your game plan is not to outshoot the Avs, because the Avs are probably going to outshoot you. It's more about getting better opportunities and Hellebuck, wearing out the offense, the one line that they've got.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. 1.9 seconds, still a chance.
Okay, you guys are like 20 seconds above me.
Yeah. No,
better. I was like a minute and a half. So
yeah, you caught up a little bit. I'm with you though. I think I would have, if I'm a Jets fan or or a Colorado hater, right? Like I want to see Winnipeg up 2-1 going into the first, right? I think I don't know if it was necessarily in my head 50-50. I would put it more towards the 60-40. I mean, we're just cutting hairs here, but I think Jets did carry some of the play, which you want to see, but at home, you want that to be a little bit better.
That looked to me like a period of Colorado, who, like, that's a team that's been there, and like we just got to withstand. We just got to withstand. Like, they're at home, it's an elimination game for them. They're gonna come out flying. We just have to not lose the game in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they didn't. I think if you're Colorado, you feel great going into the locker room right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how they don't feel like not, obviously they're not winning, but like if I'm in that locker room, I'm like, we won that period. Like they had all the adrenaline, they had the crowd, they got the crowd in it a minute in, we answered, now we go in 1-1. I don't know how you're in that Colorado dressing room not being like, boys, we won that. We won that period. Like, now in period 2, now we can take it to them. Like,
yep, 100%.
So that's playoff experience, right? Like, you gotta, you're like you said, like, and like Murray said, like you gotta weather that, and it's gonna happen, and you got, they gave him 1, they didn't give him 3, and
that'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. While we're in intermission, it's probably a good time to talk about the other series going on at the moment.
Oh, you made it to intermission finally?
Hey, welcome. Welcome to the future.
Thanks for leading me in. We've got we got 3 series now that are wrapped up.
Yep.
We can hit real cap. Obviously for more in-depth stuff, we'll be talking about this in our next episode of the Dusty Bender podcast on Thursdays. By the way, if you guys are new to the stream, this is Chance, Taylor, and Aaron. We're with the Dusty Bender Hockey Podcast. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all your normal podcasting apps. We appreciate you guys jumping on and joining us. Please subscribe to our show and check out our episodes. We release one every week. Let's start with, probably, because I want to get into the controversialness of the Florida Tampa game 5. Because as somebody who was rooting for Florida, as somebody who predicted Florida to win, I don't like how that game ended. Two very weak goalie interference calls don't make you feel, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so
first off, I guess my question to you, I'll throw it over to you guys. Like, do you guys think that both of those goalie interference calls were merited? Because I don't think either one of them were.
So as the rule, and like, again, I was the one on the show that predicted Tampa to win.
Yes.
As the rule is written, it's the correct call in both cases. Like, as the rule is written.
Sure.
And I know, like, Cooper had his thing, but obviously you got to question where that's coming from. So as the rule is written, those are the right call. Like, and I don't, and also, like, if you're going to, like, even if both of those go in, obviously, like, momentum and score effects and whatever, you still gave up 6, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and you know, if you're Tampa, you lost one in overtime. You had game 1 where you had Stamkos on a one-timer late in the game. Like, you had your chances, but, like, Florida was the better team in that series.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Like there's not, it's not like
it just sucks that it ended that way. Like it's
sure, but like, like
you're not. So I agree with you.
I
agree with you 100%. How the rule is written, that's how it should be. But unfortunately, there is no consistency with reffing in the NHL, and that call one game is not goalie interference the next game. And
I disagree that I think in those two cases, I think it was clear enough that like the way the rule is written today, I think those get called pretty consistently.
I'm coming in cold. Let me tell you. I think the Duclair one is clear interference. I think the Chiarelli one is very ticky-tacky. That one's
there's barely any contact in either one.
See, Duclair's skate is blocking the glove. So he is altering the glove as Bobrovsky goes to pick it up.
Okay.
And that's not even on Duclair. Like what else is he supposed to do? But
sure.
It is the way that
I think Bob is
written.
Purposely like it's like if like a stick's in your way and you're like, I just can't. I can't.
Maybe goalies do that.
I mean, sure, but like, why would you not use the rules as they're written? Right? I also think, and I say this, and I will say this about every sport. If your argument is about like, goaltender interference, I think that's crybaby shit, and I think that fucking sucks. Like,
and it's playoff hockey. You got to play through all that.
If you don't like it, maybe you should have like not put yourself in a position where that dictates your series.
Down 3-1, right? Yeah,
that's the larger point. Is like, maybe you should have not given up 60% of the goals in the series. That probably would have been helpful.
In fact, I'll back you on this in the sense that like, because I'm an old school person when it comes to goalie interference. Like when we were growing up, God, that sounds like an old fashioned statement. When we were growing up,
I know you or me, but that seems like different generations. So.
Sure. But in any case, so like when we were growing up, goalie interference was very clear cut and dry because it was defined. If the player makes contact with the goalie in the crease and there's a goal scored, it's goalie interference because players are not supposed to fuck with goalies in the crease. That's their area. You can go in the crease, but if you make contact with the goalie, that's goaltender interference. It was black and white. And then if the goalie left the crease, he's not exactly fair game, but if contact happens out of it, that's kind of on him. That's how it was. Now it's much more like blurred. And I understand what you're saying. Yes, there's clear contact. I get it. But we'll pull up 50 other goalie interference calls over the course of the last 3 years. There's not going to be much consistency, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the frustrating part.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with that. I mean, we always get into this, right? Like there is zero consistency from not only game to game, but literally call to call within the same game. Right. So like, so that's the thing, right? Like if you're thinking, like, I hate to say it from like a business mindset, but from a business mindset, if something isn't fucking working, if the wording in your procedures doc is incorrect, what do? You go fucking change it. And we have this like the GMs and Gary Bettman in the NHL and whoever's running all the fucking rule shit, like has just this big vendetta against like making things better, right? Like it's the same thing with the LTIR stuff, right? Like it will probably benefit your team at some point. So they haven't pushed on it and pressed to it. And it's just crazy. But that's the thing, right? Like as fans at this point, why don't we all just go, look, they're going to fuck it up. Like at some point, like nobody actually knows what's going on and it's just not going to get any better. So why do we hate each other because this happened in a game? Like, that's the part that bugs me is there's nothing any of us can do. Like
of the gripes I have with officiating in NHL, goalie interference actually isn't one of them. I think largely, like by and large,
if it was just consistent, I would.
It's fair.
Like
I think by and large, and again, there's exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, I think they get goalie interference mostly right as the rule is currently written. And like Cooper, like you can have issues with the rule, but like as it's currently written, I think for the most part it's okay.
I think Coop was making a comment on like the point that I was making earlier is that like, like you said, like, yes, Duclair's skate was there. if Bob really wanted to power through it, he could have, but he didn't. It looked like he was like stuck around a guard, like a car wrapped around a tree. Like I just can't do it. And it's like that. I think that's where Coop's comment was coming from, is like, he's being a little girl, pretending that he just can't get around that. And I understand that that's kicked up bullshit.
Yeah, and if Tkachuk was standing in that exact same spot with Vasilevsky, he would go, well, that's clearly interference based on how the rule is written, right? Like, you have to take the source of the information.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
yes,
his team also got knocked out. He's not going to say, well, I didn't coach well enough and my team is old. Like, he's going to say, well, we got screwed by this thing, right? Like, so you have to.
I'm not going to say it's on Coop. If you can criticize,
I'm not saying it's on
a lot of things.
I'm not saying it's on Coop either, but like, you have to consider the source when they're like, well, these rules are so inconsistent, and it's like, well, they get called pretty like based on how the rule is written. Like, I not to like go back to like Down Goes Brown, but like he writes articles pretty frequently about goaltender interference, and if you like follow the things that you guys are like, you can get most of them, or like have a general idea how most of them are gonna go, and like it's much better than like puck over the glass or offside review as a couple of examples, right? Like, so if I'm picking my gripes with officiating in the NHL, goaltender interference is pretty low on my list of things. And
well, and I think
did the goalie sell it? Sure. Does every player sell every call in perpetuity?
Oh, and I think that embellishment needs to be called way more in this game. Like, this is a circumstance where you've got professional ice hockey players that you and I both know it takes a lot to knock them down. And they've got guys that are, literally tripping over, like, a rep squirt could skate through a check or a stick or something like that. And it's just completely taking them down. They're selling calls and the refs fall for it more often than not. Like, we don't see embellishment calls very often. So, first question in the chat, not to cut you off, Taylor.
Do the Stars have a chance against the Knights? I sure hope so.
Absolutely, man. It's tied 2-2.
Yeah,
Mark,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you feel otherwise, honestly.
Yeah, it's I'd say that series is a coin flip at this point, quite literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I think there's a 50-50 chance that either team wins.
Right, but it's now a 3-game series, and Dallas. Two impressive win. I'm a Stars fan, big time, but I'm so nervous. I mean, hey man, you pulled off 2 wins on the road, which is I know Vegas got the 2 wins in Dallas, so it kind of just evens it out. But the momentum's in your favor now, and it looks like I'm blanking on. Is it Thompson? Logan Thompson.
Logan Thompson. Yeah.
Logan was like game 3. Logan Thompson played Hasek level, like. Incredible.
He had to.
Mm-hmm. Might have been arguably the best goalie performance of the playoffs so far in that game 3 against the Stars, in my personal opinion. And he still lost. So it shows that, the Stars are, it's a good series, man. Like, none of these games are blowouts. Neither team controls play for very long. It's
two giants, man.
Probably one of, if not the most entertaining series to watch.
I mean, you could make a very reasonable argument. These are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference, especially now that Vegas is healthy, right? Like, you could argue very reasonably. This is the Western Conference Finals. In round 1, right? Like, if I told you either one of these 2 teams is in the Cup final, you'd go, yeah, of course. Like,
right?
Yeah, it's like Vegas. They're healthy. They got, they did like. They got LTIR captain. They got Hurdle. They got Hannafin. Like, yeah, of course. Or they'd be like, yeah, of course. It's the Stars. They have their top line. They've got Robertson. They've got Duchesne. They've got Robo. They've got Tanev. They've got, Heiskanen. They've got Ottinger. Like, yeah, you'd go, of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me, right? Like, it's like, honestly, I think both of, like, whoever wins this series, like, with all due respect to, like, Colorado and Winnipeg, neither one of them are as complete a team as Dallas and Vegas. So in either case, you're going into the next round facing either team as the presumptive favorite and a more complete team than you're lining up against, and you're playing a less complete team than you just beat in the previous round. Like, My concern is like exhaustion, like honestly, rather than just the quality of the rosters. We
talked about this. We talked about this series on our show on our last episode, and you're down 2 rip, but Stars were able to get
what's that show called?
That show is called Dusty Bender. Dusty Bender.
Not Dusty Bunder. That's
Dusty Bender. Dusty Bender.
Bender.
Check out Dusty Bender. That is us 3 talking just out of our asses about hockey. It is what it is. But on our show, Dusty Bunder.
The Dusty Bunder podcast.
The Dusty Bunder podcast. We were talking how Dallas had to get that game 3, right? It had to be Dallas's game 3. Or, I mean, everybody knows going down 3 rip is not good, but 2-1 is much better than even a 3-1, right? Yep. So, seeing that series at 2-2, it's literally Goliath versus fucking Goliath at this point, right? I mean, that's where these 2 teams are. If
that's
you,
great.
Get
and
there, so.
I don't know if Colorado has the strength to be able. We're already assuming that Colorado is going to win Winnipeg, and it's not written in stone. Crazier things have happened. But historically, Winnipeg has never been able to overcome this. They haven't been great playoff competitors. So I don't know. I would say at this point, the Avs might pull this one out. But in any case, like even if Winnipeg pulls it off, I don't think that either one of those teams is. You're right. I mean, the Vegas Dallas winner is the favorite in my opinion, against Colorado or Winnipeg.
And Mark, just to answer your question about why the road teams won. There's nothing more random in sports than an individual hockey game.
Yep.
And so I think that if you put these 2 teams together and it doesn't matter where they play. They could play on fucking Mars. Mm-hmm. And the road team would probably win about 50% of the games. Mm-hmm. Home
maybe
field
statistically, like home teams win like 55% of the time.
It is so. Like I've read the statistics. This might surprise you. There is home field advantage matters less in hockey than any other sport because an individual hockey game is the most random sport of all of the sports, of all of the major sports in North America.
I love that.
So you are basically, when you get to the playoffs, and this is why seeding doesn't really matter. Like you would see with Vegas. Because in individual hockey game, especially in the playoffs, you are essentially flipping coins.
Yep.
Amongst teams like this. So whether Dallas is playing on the road, whether Vegas is playing on the road, it doesn't really matter because the individual game, it's just going to come down to breaks and it's going to come down to bounces and it's going to come down to a bunch of other stuff.
And heart and grit and jam.
I don't know I don't know how to quantify those words.
What is the grit per 60 of this series?
Do either of these teams have Max Domi? I don't, or Ryan Reeves. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if I consider that grit.
Well,
that's that's jam. That's jam per 60.
To the larger point, it doesn't really where the venue is so far down on the list of reasons why you lose a hockey game
because
that it's borderline irrelevant. Unless you're getting into an Edmonton situation where you're we have one line and then matchups matter more if you're very top heavy. But for these teams, they're deep enough. It doesn't really matter. You can't match them. And it is by far the least advantageous home and field advantage of any sport. So it's just statistically proven that. So in the end, and you see this in the way teams play towards the end of the season, once they're guaranteed a playoff spot, unless they're trying to win a division or win a President's Trophy or whatever, they don't really care where they match up in the seeding because home ice doesn't matter as much as we as fans think it is. Because we want to believe that I'm in the whiteout. I'm helping. I'm doing I'm doing my thing.
But
is it actually gonna translate to results on the ice we've seen over time?
No, at the end of the day,
it really doesn't.
Well, I mean, there are extremes, right? Mark pointed that out. We haven't even noticed. We were going to talk about other series other than the Winnipeg Jets, the Winnipeg and Colorado series during this. We didn't mention New York because even on our show, we've spent maybe a total of
Yes.
30 seconds talking about it. The Caps are a bad team, and it wasn't going to like it didn't matter if the home advantage was there. It's nothing. Ovi's 38 years old, doesn't care about scoring goals in the playoffs. He has his cup. It's over. They shouldn't have made the playoffs in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
They're a bad team.
Yeah, randomness in hockey does not account for severe mismatches in talent, right? Like
I will talk the other series, but there's nothing to dissect in that game. The New York Rangers are a good team, perhaps a cup competitor. Capitals are bad.
I don't buy the Rangers as much as other people, but
I will disagree with you on that, and
they're just as good as Carolina.
Yes, and the reason is how easy was it for you to get up, Aaron, and go to a game where you're going to shit kick that team 12 fucking rip.
Yes.
Right. It's so much harder to get up and be prepared for a game like that than it is for, our crosstown rivals, right? Like how much better am I going to look even if the game is closer? It's a better hockey game. We might not even play our best game in general against that team, but it's going to look like better hockey against a team that realistically the 2024 were the 12-0
it's not just coincidence that's
a shit team.
We just got done saying like playoff hockey more often than not is just flipping coins, which is true. I agree with that, but it just goes to show like in extreme cases, it's not. And I mean, the Rangers were supposed to kick the shit out of the Capitals, and they did kick the shit out of the Capitals.
Yep, 100%.
Like they did exactly what they're supposed to do. Whereas in playoff hockey, by the logic of the randomness, which I agree with, the Caps should have at least gotten one or two because, maybe Charlie Lindgren stole a game or, Ovi decided that he's 24 again for a period, or something like that.
The randomness is hockey is why you would pick the Rangers in 5 or 6 versus a sweep, right? That's what that's like it. And the most like glaring part is like the rosters, right? But also we've all played hockey. We've all watched enough hockey. Random shit happens in an individual hockey game, and that's why game 7s are so unpredictable.
Sure.
That's why we have 60 shot teams that lose 1-0, right? Like that's just the way you get
goalied sometimes. It just happens. I mean that literally happened to the Kings. Like the Kings outplayed the fucking Oilers in that last game, and they still lost 1-0. So,
it happened.
Donnell, as far as your question, 1 versus 8th. So credit to Aaron on this. Like in the East, it would be 1 versus 8.
Yeah.
So that doesn't change. And then what, Aaron? I think you broke it down in the West too. It doesn't change too much in the West, right?
No, give me 1 second. I'll pull it.
It was like one or two. In
the East, we would have the exact same matchups. It wouldn't. Okay, nothing would change.
But in short answer, yes, I do like the 1v8 playoff format better. Because this weird idea, first off, I don't like the wild card. It's a holdover from when the league had an odd number of players or an odd number of teams, and you needed to create a playoff system where, the conference with less teams wasn't getting an advantage. So you threw in the wild card. It still was a disadvantage, but in any case, so the wild card to me is dumb. And it kind of takes away the fact that, a team from the Central could be technically the Pacific Division champion, because, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're going to battle it out and the Pacific Division champion will play the Central Division champion. It could work out that it's 2 Pacific teams. So, and there is no Central Division champion because they all lost.
For me, I think it makes the most sense, right? Like even if we're getting the exact same format using the wild card as we would the 1 versus 8 in the East, it just makes more sense, right? Like you want to, in theory, right? Most years, this was an odd year for the Eastern Conference in that regard. Most years you want that top level team. You want to reward them with playing that eighth place team. So I'm with you, Donnell. I think
I got it pulled up. Better. So in the East, nothing would change. That's just random. Like we just happened to get all the same matchups. So in the West, if we had gone through a 1 through 8, the matchups would be Dallas would still play Vegas, Winnipeg would play the Kings, the Canucks would still play the Predators, and then the Avalanche would play the Oilers. So there wouldn't be as much change as you think.
That's still pretty significant, though, right? I mean, that's
for the teams that it changes very dramatically. But for a lot of teams, you're still getting or excuse me, Dallas. You're still getting Dallas and Vegas. Like you're still getting
a hybrid team of Dallas and Vegas.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and
like
couple
Colorado,
more players than Vegas could have another team, but it's fine.
And like Colorado, you go from playing Winnipeg to playing the Oilers. So
the Vallis Starry Knights.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Like our best series in theory should turn into Colorado versus Edmonton in that 4 to 5 slot, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm completely on board with the 1 versus 8. I think we've brought it up quite a few
so
times.
the only ones I would change is Colorado and Winnipeg and the Kings and the Oilers, but like the Canucks are still playing the Predators, right? Like,
Preds, yeah,
and yeah, like Donnell just pointed out, like, yeah, it wanted to create rivalries. That was because they could have Sid and Ovi. That's really it.
Yeah.
Like you could guarantee Sid and Ovi every year. Why they want to do that? Because that makes
that's big money. Yeah,
like you know, you don't want to have those two guys and think of like those playoffs, right? Like, and it sucks that it happened in the first round, obviously, but like, how many times did we like the Sid and Ovi narrative is so much because they kept running into each other in the playoffs, right? Like it was successful in doing the thing it was kind of designed to do, which is like, we want these teams to play a ton and fucking hate each other. And it was successful in doing that, even if it wasn't, you know, the most competitive matchups, like broadly speaking.
Is Cale Makar the scariest baby face to be skating down the ice at you? That motherfucker can wheel, dude.
Dude, it's unreal.
That's so stupid. That's a cheat code, man.
I've had this thought like for a while now, and I remember like when he was in college, and he was like, in college he was like a 65% expected goals defenseman. Like it was stupid. But
where did he play? Where did he play though?
He played for one of the I can't remember if he played for UMass or BC. Give me 1 second. Yeah, he played for UMass. Okay. But yeah, it was like when he was on the ice, they were like plus 60, and when he was off, they were like minus 25 or something. Jesus. Like it was, he carried that team to a Frozen Four. But I don't know. Like a question that I've thought about over the last couple of years is how many teams don't have a forward that is as talented as Cale Makar?
Oh, dude.
I'm like, there might be like 10
Seattle Kraken.
Yeah,
dude, even like
there might be 10 teams in the league that don't have a forward that is as skilled with the puck as Cale Makar is. Like,
that's just crazy.
Watching him walk the blue line is like the grossest thing in the world.
That's cheating.
What's your time at right now?
15:41.
Oh, I'm at a commercial. Cool. Oh, I'm also 15:41.
I'm 15:50. So not too far.
Okay, you're catching up.
Yeah.
It's not I'm thinking of Hoodwink, but she doesn't time travel, does she? She does
Mark asking us if we no, we're all sober. This is I'm just kidding.
This is just pink lemonade.
Yeah. Favorite cocktail? Boy. Back when I wasn't an old man, I did really like Moscow Mules, but now they're kind of rough on my throat.
Oh,
really harsh, really burns my throat.
Yeah, you got to coat that thing, dude.
Yeah, it's not.
You got to work.
Great.
You got to work. You got to exercise those muscles.
Very true.
I had a gimlet the other day.
Freezes down.
Uh-oh.
How it's rude to hit a geriatric like that.
Seriously, that's elder abuse.
Yeah.
That does suck though. He took a shin to the fucking head.
Yeah. To answer your question, Mark, I'm much more of a beer drinker. If I'm drinking a cocktail, like more often than not,
slamming whiskey.
I'll have like a whiskey Coke, but most of the time, if I'm drinking a cocktail, it's a gin and tonic. Keep it pretty.
Yeah,
simple.
keep your calories.
Love a G&T, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do a dirty martini every once in a while. I know it's technically like I don't know if you can consider that a cocktail. I'm currently drinking Wink Pitney right now.
Oh, Parise's hurt, guys.
Yeah. He took a hip to the head.
Was it a hip?
I mean, Parise kind of bails, and like Miller tries to get out of the way. Like he adjusts his body, but his hip like hits Parise in the side of the head. Like
so I mean, but isn't it better at that point to just try to absorb it? Or is he falling down? I think
it's a situation where you hope that you're not going to hit him at all.
Well, Parise is falling down. Like he's trying he's trying to clear the puck, and he falls, and then like Miller is clearly trying to avoid the hit. Like, and that sucks.
That does suck. That does suck.
I have been drinking like canned cocktails lately. The margaritas are good. At one of my favorite bars, they've got these canned cocktails, and they got the canned Mai Tai, canned margarita. Those are not bad, but I've been leaning more towards stuff that isn't gonna burn the shit out of my throat. But I've also been embracing being older, and last night I was drinking Stella Artois with Clamato.
Fancy fuck, dude.
Avs up 2-1.
No, you're just in front of me.
Oh.
Fuck. That would suck. That sucks. I really wish
that's a fucking defensive breakdown, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's a defensive breakdown.
Yeah, and
Oh,
why are both defensemen in the corner?
Yeah, dude. And even the one out front's not picking up a guy. He's just fucking standing there. What are you playing, zone defense?
I mean,
they
just lose a puck battle, and then is that Pionk that just gets worked? Like,
okay, I like that. I mean, that's a nice move by Trennan, though. Still, too.
Yeah.
Like okay. I don't hate that as much, but
you're just like not winning puck battles, right? Like, and he just and again, like I was saying, like Hellebuyck's not playing great. You got to have the guys in front of you.
Yeah, it's
like
spot on.
Can't let that guy walk out in front on your goalie and just.
Well, that's Morrissey getting tech. I mean, he's fallen down, right? And Trennan puts the puck between his legs, but you got to win that 1-on-1, dude. It's fucking Luke. What is it, Luke Trennan? See, I don't even know his fucking first name, dude. Maybe I do.
Comes up with that. He follows up his own rebound.
Yeah.
No, it's a nice play by Trennan. Like the second watch on that's a nice goal.
But Pionk, you got to be better in front. Like,
yeah, 100%. And I think I do still think Hellebuyck probably should track that a little better, but you can't leave him wide open in front of in the fucking oven, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you're like Hellebuyck probably wants that back, but like
probably.
Also,
but
Pionk,
it wasn't well played.
Nice.
It wasn't well played shot.
Like Pionk, you can't get beat 3 times on one play like that. Like
was that Pionk? Was it?
Yeah, it was Pionk.
Yeah,
there's a penalty. Okay,
Neil Pionk is definitely not a good hockey player.
And that's the thing, and that's definitely but it's so hard to hate on the defense looking at this matchup going into it, right? Because they did it all fucking year,
right? You're hoping that Connor Hellebuyck is going all you need we said it before this, like the game started, like you need the defense to just play average, like okay hockey, like C+, and then Connor Hellebuyck will take it the rest of the way. But he's not. Like if there is a defensive breakdown, he's getting beat, and it's just not.
Yeah,
it's not good, and it especially not good because he's not even playing. It's not like the defense is average and he's average. Like the defense is playing below average and he's playing bad.
Yeah, it's the defense. Like it's the Avs seem to have solved the Jets' defensive systems, and Connor Hellebuyck is not saving the day. Like that. That's kind of what it's kind of what it feels like. And
how long has this coach been in Winnipeg?
2 years. I think.
2 years. Yeah,
because it was Paul Maurice, right?
Yeah, it was Maurice, and then he quit. Wasn't fired. He just quit, and then took a 6-month hiatus, and then got hired down in Florida. So.
Nice.
Look out. That's what Berube's going to do.
Donnell, you got to get some Chick-fil-A. I've never had it myself either, but I hear good things.
You guys got to get out more. Come on.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's not. It's okay. It is overhyped. It's fine.
I have that opinion on Popeyes. We have one that's hop, skip, and a jump from me. I think it's overhyped. Honestly, KFC chicken to me is kind of better. But
dude, shout out to Spicy McChicken. Why are we like? What are we talking about? Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, dude. Spicy McChicken gets it done.
okay,
Come on, bro.
I mean, I prefer Popeyes to all those just because I like the seasoning. But like, yeah, it's at this point the chicken sandwich market is so. Actually, I would prefer the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich to all of them.
Yep, good. Yep, the spicy deluxe.
Yeah, so you get yourself a spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's, and you are sitting pretty. But like,
Mark, boy, Andrew, hey, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome to the stream.
No,
good to see you again. The Yotes. Don't get us started on the Yotes.
Before the Yotes, at the Mariners game last night, I was sitting in a section of Braves fans. There was a guy rocking an Atlanta Thrashers jersey, and I was like, it was like, shout out to that dude. Oh, Winnipeg tied it up.
Hey,
Josh Morrissey doing Josh Morrissey. He's look
at that guy.
Play. Yeah, so like the Yotes, we all feel bad for the fans. The ownership group is terrible.
This is a pro Yotes pod. For those who don't know us, Chance, Taylor, Aaron. Taylor lived in Arizona for many years. And while he is a grew up Ducks fan, he embraced the Coyotes as his own and rooted for them for quite a while. And it's not we this is a pro Yotes podcast. We definitely were hoping that things were going to turn out better, but
the amount of beer that I
pro
drank
Yotes and anti-Morello podcast.
Yes, anti-Morello.
How does
it keep
both Morellos?
It's getting worse. How does it keep getting worse?
Yeah, did you guys see the article that came out about the
Oh god.
Hey, Morrissey scored. Yeah.
Junior.
Like the article that Kaplan, I think it was Emily Kaplan and
Wyshynski, they comboed it. Yeah.
Just detailing all like they just crossed out amounts on hotel checks and like sent that in as payment. Like
there's literally like there's an established you have to stay in this level of hotel if you're an NHL team. And the Coyotes were like Morello and the ownership group was literally like, no, you guys just stay at like fucking Motel 8s and shit. Bro.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it's
terrible.
It's in the CBA.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's
crazy, man.
It's in the collective bargaining agreement. But yeah, it's bad. And I want the Yotes to come back under new ownership. Like, I hope that stuff gets built, and I hope someone else buys it, and then I hope they come back. Like, I don't want to put fans in Arizona through Alex Morello. And also I don't want that dude to get rewarded is kind of the other thing.
Right. For failing, right? Like failed since he bought the team.
Yeah. He already got $600 million for failing the first time. I don't want him to get rewarded again. Mm-hmm. This is kind of the other thing.
Yep. Yeah, my wife and I were in Chandler, Arizona for 6 years, and
great place.
I'm almost positive I paid for some of those Super 8 motel trips that the Coyotes had just based on my beer sales. So, we had a good time.
And Taylor has also taken a vow to hate the Utah team.
Yeah, I won't like the Utah team. I love Cooley. I love Keller. Keller, as much as I yelled at him while I was there, it was all out of fun. You know, me and him were buddies. Utah, I will not go see a game there.
Yeah.
I will check it out. I'm gonna go. The first time the Kraken play down there. I'm gonna go and root against some Utah fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They actually do. They know hockey a little bit more.
I'll pick up our St. Louis Blues expert Devin in Boise, and then make the 4-hour drive.
He won't be allowed to go. You know his wife's not going to let him go, dude.
That's probably true.
Yeah, jeez.
That's probably true.
He's not allowed to have any fun.
And Donnell,
he probably watched this. He was like, "That's fair."
Yeah, he's on there somewhere.
Let's be honest. He's not watching this.
Donnell, I think you mean Thrashers 3.0 because that'd be the third team in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
That's right.
It was the Flames, right? It was
the Atlanta Flames. Then it was the Thrashers, and then whatever team they would get next would be that'd be the third time the NHL has tried Atlanta.
That's a good ownership group that they're throwing together there. I don't want to go past 32. I'm a 32 guy.
That's the problem. Is if you expand again, then if you add one team, you have to add another, and at that point,
hey Serena,
you kind of have to like you kind of have to go to 36 at that point, and
100%.
I think that's the problem is, you can't add Atlanta and then you got to add Phoenix and Houston, and then you got to add at some point they have to make
get a team.
Yeah, you gotta have the franchises in your league be viable before you're like, we're gonna have a 36 team league. Like,
did Rantanen just break that stick across his chest?
Yeah,
I'm
almost positive that just happened. I'm seeing things.
I am genuinely surprised, Mark. To get to your comment, I am genuinely surprised that nobody wanted to sign Kessel to a league minimum and just have him round out a fourth line and maybe be a power play specialist, especially for the playoffs where you need depth because guys go down real quick. But it kind of just goes to show that it kind of just goes to show that Phil might be completely washed at this point, which sucks because this is a pro Phil podcast.
Yeah.
Did he not get signed in Vancouver? I know he did the
no,
he did the tryouts. They didn't actually offer him.
No, he didn't get signed up. Yeah, so I mean, like we see guys that age have some of these, I won't even call them renaissance, but are still playing at that age, right? But they're more the natural jam guys, right? Like, everyone loves to hate him, and rightfully so for an extent. Corey Perry's still playing in the fucking league because he basically pushed his 50-goal season out of the way and was just like, yeah, I'm just a fucking third, fourth line burner. Like, that's what I am at this point in my career. And Kessel's never going to do that. Kessel is just stocked up on chicken nuggets and spicy McChicken. He's not going to fucking go play on a fourth line somewhere and put in the work against the fourth line guys that we have in the league right now. Like, they're just too quick and they're too in shape for fucking Phil Kessel. So
Phil wants to stand at the top of the circles and bury G notes, and then go back to the bench and scarf down some hot dogs.
Oh, he's definitely, like, if it was still kosher, he would definitely be hitting some darts on the bench, dude. Like, he's a dart and burger guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Like Andrew, I don't know what you're talking about with Lauren. So
yeah, I
not ignoring you, just I don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. That seems like treacherous waters, buddy. I don't know what.
Don't know who Lauren is. Probably not going to message Kyle about.
I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, that seems like a whole lot of not my business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm out of there. Yeah, that sounds like a Bruin polar bear with Leafs and Bruins jerseys.
Oh, the other Twitter hellfire that's going on right now. The argument over AI images.
Oof. That is pretty crazy. Yeah. I could use a fucking pizza right now. What is Domino's throwing there?
I would love to have a Kessel jersey.
Yeah. I mean, it's very funny that Phil Kessel, for as much talk as like Phil Kessel loves hot dogs and how out of shape he is the NHL's all-time leader in Ironman. It's very funny, and
that's John Daly, dude.
Yeah,
you can't pull fat, baby.
And it rocks, and he's incredible, but also, like, we can also be real about where he was contributing in Vegas, and the answer is he told them he didn't want to get on a fucking plane, so they better win in Game 6 or whatever.
My favorite quote was they were trying to take Phil's Coke away on the bench, and he's like, "I'll fucking quit." Like, I will leave.
I will quit.
Like, I won't play.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, like when he was a black ace in Vegas, they were like, it was a Game 6, and then if they lost, they would have to fly back, and he went to the locker room and was like, if you fucking guys don't win tonight, and I gotta get on a fucking plane, I'm gonna fucking kill all of you, and then they went out and fucking won the cup. Like,
dude, I'm waiting for the day, Aaron, that you and I we're all drinking some beers, and your kid comes running up, and he's like, Daddy, who holds the Iron Man record in the NHL? And you have to, with a straight face, tell him that it's Phil, the cheeseburger hot dog man Kessel.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell him that you see all these other kids
with tears in his eyes.
And I'm going to tell him, you see all these other kids your age that are like doing the Nathan McKinnon thing and being psychos from the age of 8.
Right.
Let me tell you about our Lord and Savior Phil Kessel.
Yeah.
and Wayne Gretzky, who went to McDonald's and drank Coca-Cola and had better careers. And
love it.
Because Phil Kessel is going to retire with more cups than Nathan MacKinnon. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
that is probably accurate. I don't know if McKinnon's going to get 3.
Our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I mean he is the Dusty Bender podcast. By the way, Dusty Bender podcast. Chance, Taylor, and Aaron. Welcome to the stream. If you are new on here, happy to have you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're on Twitter or Facebook, also follow us on there so you can see all the funny shit that we post. Thanks for being on the stream. Appreciate it. On the show we have like our patron saints, like when guys do rock star shit that we just respect the hell out of.
Hell yeah. Short like, Kings too.
Hey man, all about it. If you can, it's got to respect the hustle or the lack of there from Phil. It's like the reason why everybody hates. Okay, actually, I think the number one reason people hate Vegas is because of the fans. And I
think it's the LTIR stuff.
It's the LTIR.
Okay, all right. So that's number one. Two is the fans.
They're
okay,
fine.
but see, in that one, I don't get.
Sinbin, it's fine.
Basically, right. Well, Zegras is terrible. So
yeah, he's
he's awful.
He's getting traded. Like
you and Ken are gonna have it out one day,
dude. Me and Ken are gonna literally throw the fucking mitts on one of these days.
That's right. No, I love Vegas for the reason that people hate them is like it's because we talk about it on our show all the time. Like this is the NHL where GMs it's a copycat league. Like I'm not smart enough to think of my own way to win the Stanley Cup. So I'm just going to copy whatever the fucking team did last year that won it and do what they did. And that's it. And no one has the fucking balls to ever make a move. We hear all the time from GMs after the trade deadline. Well, it's so hard to make a trade or make a move during the season.
Is it though?
It's not. You're just a fucking coward. Like that's it. It's because at the end of the day, they don't want to take the risk, take the swing, and then it be a miss and then lose their jobs. But ironically, they're going to lose their jobs by doing absolutely nothing and telling the owner like, oh no, trust the process. Only 5 years. And this kid that we've got cooking in, the Czech league will finally come here and be our savior. We might not be alive. We might not be alive to see it, but yeah, just trust the process and have patience while we barely get, 10% of our building filled. No, I'm sorry. The Vegas GM has this crazy concept of trying to win the Stanley Cup every year. Fucking crazy,
you gotta appreciate that.
Like, good for him. I just wish that more guys had the motivation. Are they selling their future away every year? Great, fine. If you can, if that means that you're a competitor every year, go for it. Fine.
If your team is if your main players are in their prime, go for it every year.
Yes.
Right? There's absolutely no reason to have a first round draft pick.
And look at that though. Like they're continuing to rebuild on the fly. Like Noah Hannafin is signed for 8 years. Like that's you're about to lose either Pietrangelo or Theodore, in not too long. You just replace them, or Martinez is definitely gone. But
so here's the thing. And the next time your favorite team tells you that like how complicated it is to make trades, they negotiated $1 billion relocation of a franchise in 6 weeks.
Thanks, Serena. You're awesome.
$1 billion relocation to move the Coyotes to Utah. That took less than 2 months. And your GM is telling you it's really hard to trade like a third liner.
Yeah, it's nuts. Or even just make that trade
guaranteed
possible.
Salaries and like maybe a no move clause. Like it's not that hard, but yeah, good.
Real quick, let me defend some GMs real quick. I'll play the devil's advocate. It's all about your job, right?
Oh, 100%.
Look at Kekalainen, right? Like Kekalainen went for it, and Kekalainen was one of those guys on the podcast. He was
saying to the Dusty Bender, one of the patrons.
We had a shrine. Yeah, we had a shrine of Kekalainen for a little bit.
Fucking tried, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, as soon as he did that, and it did not fully succeed, they beat Tampa in 4 games, which is fucking amazing.
That is their best playoff win ever.
It's their only playoff win ever.
Yes, and they instantly went downhill, right? So like he shot his shot, And I will appreciate what Vegas does, because yes, the Eichel trade, right? Eichel has always been a guy that's going to be a fucking stud, right?
Yep.
And they were like, let's take the chance on him. He's still young. Let's fucking do it.
He was also coming off a neck surgery no hockey player had ever had. Like
Yeah,
that
100%.
that was the thing with him in Buffalo, right? Was Buffalo wanted him to get a different procedure. He didn't want it.
Yeah.
And so he forced his way out. And
now, did he actually, or was he just using that to get out of Buffalo?
Well, I think
there's an argument for that, but I understand.
Like the Buffalo doctors were like, "Hey, you should get the surgery that every other hockey player in the history of ever has done." And he was like, "No, I want to get this different procedure." I don't know the specifics, but
it's like a fake disc in his neck or something.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's like a fake disc.
And God.
McCann is badass. I love him. The jersey above me that you can't see off screen right here is a McCann jersey. He's my jam. Love McCann. Probably my favorite player on the Kraken.
And I don't have a problem of
that's unfortunate because
I don't have a problem with what Vegas does. And the thing is, it's in the CBA, and in the next CBA, it's still going to be there because no one's going to fight for it. Players aren't going to bring it up because they're going to get paid. The GMs aren't going to bring it up because there's 5 GMs that get to talk. And the ones that are complaining are not the ones that get to talk. And Gary Bettman is not going to bring it to Marty Walsh and say, we need to get rid of this. It's just not. So it's going to be a thing, and it's going to catch up with Vegas. Eventually, in a couple of years, they're going to be in the same boat as Tampa and Pittsburgh, where flags fly forever, and who cares about prospects? And
Ducks fly together.
But they could have two fucking cups by then, right? So
at that point, who cares? At that point, do you care that you traded, whatever your first round pick is? You're gonna have Minot, North Dakota native Mason Morelli as your first line center, and you're gonna be
goal.
who cares?
That hurts.
Pionk's having a bad game.
Yeah, Pionk's struggling his way to the fucking golf course at this rate.
Jesus Christ, not good.
I don't know how you did that, but Serena, I'm Wellesley. I don't know how Chance switched it around. I don't know how. Or
I moved you up so you could have some spotlight time with your name.
All right, gosh, I get jealous.
Chance Watson, Taylor Wells, Aaron Larson.
Mark, I am a Braves fan, and I'm trying to figure out who this player is. I need. He has 4 World.
That's right.
Well, the first part is the Braves don't have 4. The first problem is Braves don't have 4 World Series rings.
Maybe he's on it. Maybe he's on the Braves now, but has 4 World Series rings.
Maybe. I know who you're talking about, Mark. You're talking about the relief pitcher Will Smith. Not to be confused with all the other Will Smiths, but yeah, he was on the Braves, then he went to the Dodgers, and then he was on the Astros. But he's a pitcher. I don't know who the 2 doubles and the stolen base is.
Will Smith, yeah. The guy that slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah. He and then he threw a really good slider and struck out the side against.
That sounds right. Same guy.
Yeah. He came up after Tyler Matzek struck out Mookie Betts in NLCS. Damn.
All right. Okay. So this series it's one of those things. It doesn't really hit me in the stones, but I want it to be a series, man. I don't want this to be over today.
I
agree.
It's only 3-2. You're only down 1.
Yeah, it's still got time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just that hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
That hurts. Preds Canucks still zeros, man.
Is that?
Yeah. That's just Preds hockey, right?
Yeah. You guys have any thoughts about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, dude, they're gonna be good, right?
Deadpool's my favorite superhero, even before he was on the screen, because I'm definitely not a child at heart, and you seem like a very mature adult.
Yeah, you
very much so. Very much so. Yeah, it's very mature in the sense that you watch superhero movies and you're like, okay, like it's obviously made for kids kind of thing, and that's great. But Deadpool's not, and Deadpool's closer to like what I would be as a superhero, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love Deadpool is really good, and the Wolverines are very good. I don't think there's been a bad Wolverine yet either. So
I don't like I think Wolverine is cool, but like if you want to get real into like nerdy shit, I think Wolverine's so boring.
Like Wolverine is fine. Have you guys watched X-Men 97? Either one of you?
No.
So like that is pretty good. I've kind of gotten out on superhero stuff. Like I like the MCU. I'm like totally out on.
I've heard good things about it.
X-Men 97 is like unironically like it's very good. It's very much in the style of the old X-Men cartoon, but like the story is actually interesting, and there's good Wolverine bits in that, and I don't know, like the Deadpool movies, like, you know, he's definitely gonna turn to camera and do some snarky comments. Like you kind of know what that movie's gonna be. Like, so like, am I excited for it? Maybe not. Am I gonna watch it? Probably. Like,
yeah.
And is it gonna be entertaining? Also, probably. Like
100%. Yeah, I like that humor though, right? Like just, you know, some one-liners. I'm totally okay with that.
Serena, if you are 11, you should definitely not be watching this stream.
Probably not.
I am a parent, and as a parent, I cannot in good conscience.
Definitely don't watch our show.
Yeah, you as a parent, you need to turn this off. Because you are going to interact with my child at some point, and I can't have that.
Scott. Not great.
Your kid definitely would tune in, Aaron. And like if he could find us.
That's the problem. Is I need to I have to tell I have to advise against subjecting other children to the stuff I try not to subject my child to.
Yeah,
which is my own bullshit.
Show's a bit adult. Sorry.
It's your own problem, Aaron. You're friends with us, dude. Like, wow. You got to bring that on yourself.
The only reason I'm here is because of you. This is your fault.
I didn't do anything. Don't blame anything on me.
I think you guys can blame the golfing.
Yeah, I went golfing with you one too many times. Have I checked out the Knuckles? I have not checked out the Knuckles TV show yet. I've seen, as a parent, I have seen both of the Sonic movies more times than I care to count. But I did. Is it Keanu? Is he voicing Shadow? I think that's.
I think Reeves? I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, thanks for checking in.
Yeah.
Is it Keanu Reeves?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that's confirmed. Maybe that's just like theories, but yeah, I want to check it out, but I haven't yet. I'm trying to find time. Speaking of like adult things, I'm trying to find time to watch Fallout with my wife. But
Fallout's so good.
But having
the movie,
the show. But having a young child,
Bye, Serena. Thanks.
Gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost threw Fallout on the other day.
It's so as a fan of the games, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Plus, it also has there's callbacks to my other favorite show, which is Justified. Like a lot of the actors from Justified are in Fallout. I think Walton Goggins got them a lot of jobs.
It's DC, isn't it? Or no, Justified is the.
That's the cowboy show.
The cowboy,
yeah. With Timothy Oliphant, but Walton Goggins, the Ghoul. He's like the main antagonist in Justified, and now he gets to play the cowboy hero, sort of, kind of. He's an anti-hero, but
yeah, he's just chewing scenery. I want to watch it. I watched the first episode in like a chunk, and I love it, but
it's very good.
Just hard to find time.
Yep. No, I get it. Well, and it's funny because I grew up playing the Fallout games. I'm a huge fan of the Fallout games. And they did this show right. Like, it feels like this show fits well with the games and is just a continuation of that story and that universe. Whereas, I didn't grow up playing Halo, but I hear from people who did are like, the Halo show's terrible. It's a disgrace. I don't want to watch it. I won't watch it.
It's fine.
Anyone who is involved needs to die.
No, it's
No, it's
fine.
fine.
It's not canon. It's
Okay.
It's fine.
It's not canon.
I mean, like, yeah, because it's
Fallout. The Fallout show is canon. Like,
it is, yes, and it confirms that New Vegas is canon, and also it's making people revisit Fallout 4, which is a good game, and people who only play New Vegas need to shut the hell up. Fallout 4 is good.
Zip it.
New Vegas is fine.
Oh God, no.
Fallout 4 is good for different reasons that New Vegas is good. Like, if you're more of a plot-driven story guy, New Vegas is your game. We
can talk about the nuances of the faction that just
there you go. 3-on-1
crucifying people.
Correct.
How does that not squeak,
fantastic?
Yeah.
No, I'm a huge New Vegas stan. I'm a huge Fallout stan, but yeah, I definitely New Vegas is definitely my favorite. Ooh, what's going on in front of the net here? Is this what you were oohing about?
Yeah.
I said ooh ah.
I would say Fallout 3 is the best of all of them, but like
Yeah.
I like New Vegas quite a bit, but there are people who are like
Colorado penalty too. Okay.
Poke check.
Oh.
I'm at 150.
3-on-1. Come on, dude. Oh, he gave it a run.
Yeah.
So it is still weird to me, and like it's just I don't follow Winnipeg like it's my job, but Adam Lowry is the captain. That's just interesting.
I mean,
man.
it's a different
That's a Jordan
choice than
Staal. That's like a Jordan Staal
it's
decision.
a different, like, you used to see this more where they would have the like depth grinder glue guy as the captain, but like now the trend is you give it to like the high skill, like your best player type guys, whereas this is more like Adam Lowry is our identity guy.
That is the biggest fucking hook I have, like, that you could use that as a textbook hook.
Oh, get in the net.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm all for that, right? Like it matters who's gonna help you claw back from 2 down, right? Yeah. We were talking about it earlier with the Dallas Vegas series, right? That's who you want to be your captain. That's who it needs to be, And I think we're kind of in this era where it's not necessarily like the big names on teams aren't necessarily the guys that are the most vocal in the locker room or that can get the team going. So,
yeah. I mean, like, like you see people talk about like in Chicago, right? Like, should Bedard get the C? And it's like, he's been in the league like a year. Whereas like in Winnipeg, having Adam Lowry as your captain, it really kind of shows like that's the dude in our room. Like, he's not the best player, but he's the heart and soul of the team.
You battle for Adam Lowry,
exactly.
Right? Like
If you are Adam Lowry, like I've said on the show before, but like Adam Lowry is a very underrated defensive center. Like, he is a really good lockdown, like, not going to put up numbers, but like he doesn't put up the numbers to be in the Selke because that's not what the Selke is anymore. But like if the Selke were just like a purely defensive forward, like it's supposed to be, like a guy like Adam Lowry or like a guy like Joel Eriksson Ek like would get votes. Like he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so going off kind of that point of like, I think the Selke should go back to what it is, where it's, well, I mean, it's a two-way offenseman basically now.
Yeah, it's a defensive guy who puts up 70 points.
Correct.
It's kind of...
Yeah, it's a guy who puts up 70 points, but also has good underlying defensive numbers. But so I almost think of that as like, I don't know, with the Norris. Like nowadays, the Norris just goes to the highest scoring defenseman, and that pisses me off because that's not who the best defenseman is. The best defenseman is somebody who quarterbacks a power play, puts up lots of points, but also is solid defensively, like is not a defensive liability. Like the fact that Carlson won it that year is despicable to me.
Yeah, but I mean, so when it comes to the Selke, like Kopitar, Bergeron, those guys ruined the Selke for players like Adam Lowry. Correct. Because they were doing the defensive side of things, but also putting up the 70 points, right? So it's not that like they have to have 70 points and be defensive. It's like those guys set the fucking standard. Right. Yeah. And so like, and it's
Bergeron in particular.
Bergeron for sure, right? Like you can't take away from those guys' defensive prowess and the fact that they're scoring 70 points and be like, well, it's not fair to Adam Lowry.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys just kind of set the bar, man.
Yeah, and like the Norris, like, you know, it's for the best defenseman, and so like it's more like the Erik Karlsson. Like I'm an Erik Karlsson defender, but like it's for the best, like, you know, who had the best season as a defenseman. It's not for the best, like, you know, it's not the Adam Foote Award for the best defensive defenseman, right? Like
it's right, and I'm not saying it'd be that either.
Yeah, so it's a harder, like, you know, it becomes more subjective, and like, you know, Erik Karlsson put up 100 points, and he was on a bad team where he didn't, because what's the point? He's just gonna.
He was like minus 40. Like,
okay, I mean,
he was a defensive liability.
One of the worst teams ever.
Yeah, Connor Bedard is going to be negative 50 and win the Calder in a walk, right? Like, you know, we don't have to, like.
But he's an offenseman. It's different.
I mean,
but I think
I'm a defensive purist. Like, I care. Like back in the day when I was still like, and everybody was roughly my height, and I cared about, and I was playing defense. Like, I cared about my plus minus more than I did getting points. Like, it was cool to get points, but at the end of the day, if I was in the plus column at the end of the game, I knew I did my job. But
that's not a necessity for you because you weren't scoring any points.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. So that's very. So my point is that the standard that I hold people to for the Norris is Nick Lindstrom. Like, he is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I understand that that's not fair, but also whoever is basically, I look at it and I go, whatever this defenseman was closest to Nick Lindstrom-esque is the Norris. And that year, I'm not going to disagree with you at all that Karlsson, is it Erik Karlsson?
Erik Karlsson.
Yeah. Erik Karlsson was the best offensive defenseman that year. No question. And for many years, like certain years in that time period, he has been the best offensive defenseman in the league, right up there with Doughty. But but he shouldn't get the Norris because the Norris puts up those points while also still being solid defensively. Like, I think the closest one that I would argue that is deserving is Karlsson.
John Karlsson.
John Karlsson with a C.
Caps.
Sorry, in my mind I was thinking Karlsson with a C, but you guys can't see what's going on in my mind. So it doesn't work.
I don't want to anyways. Like, that would suck.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it depends, right? Like, and that's kind of the problem with the Norris is you get into the same conversations you do with like the Hart, where it's like, how do you define, because it's become the MVP for defensemen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so you get into how do you define value, right? Like, and yeah, Erik Karlsson is very much a one-way defenseman. And so, but he is, you know, that year he was far and away the best the best offensive defenseman. But then how do you write that? Like, and you get into the same things where it's like this year, for example, right? Like
if he was zero, if he put up those points that his plus minus was like 0 or maybe even like -5, I'd be way more compelled to agree with you. But
that would be the best defensive,
which is also impossible given his like supporting cast on that chart.
Yes,
I agree.
But also
with his point total and on that team, a plus minus of 0 for him last season would have been stupid. It would have been a Bobby Orr season. I mean,
he would have been like Bobby Orr couldn't do that with that chart.
And that's what I'm saying. Crazy. But like his plus minus was ridiculous. Like, I mean, he was on the ice for more goals against than he was for. And when you're a defenseman, in my opinion, that's not good.
Well, and it depends. Again, it depends on, like, I want defensemen to play to their strengths.
That's right, Corey.
I don't want Erik Karlsson.
That's right, Corey.
To try and sit at home defense, because that ruins everything that makes Erik Karlsson Erik Karlsson.
I don't want him to be a stay-at-home.
And he's still on that team last year. He's still going to be negative fucking 20.
I want him to be Nick Lindstrom, where he can do both, because that is the gold standard.
That's impossible on a Sharks team.
Nick Lindstrom can put up the points.
Yeah.
On a good team though. Lindstrom was
If you surround Erik Karlsson with every Hall of Famer for the next decade, I bet Erik Karlsson is probably going to have pretty good defensive numbers.
Do not besmirch the name of Nick Lindstrom. He didn't need it. Nick Lindstrom was talented on his own.
I'm not saying he's not, but he also had. You want to run through the Nick Lindstrom supporting cast and then pull up that Sharks team and then go down the depth chart? Like,
I agree.
You don't want to.
Listen, I'm taking it in. What I'm trying to say is I am taking it into context. But he was on a bad team. and he put up bad numbers. Like even good play, like a good defenseman still can find a way to not be that bad. And he was like statistics show he was a defensive liability on that team. Like he was the worst defenseman on that team
because
like,
he was also the best offensive player on that team. The reason that he won games is because Erik Karlsson had to do unbelievable things with nothing.
I'm not disagreeing with you that he was an offensive juggernaut, but that's not what wins you the Norris, in my opinion.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is you get into these subjective conversations with the Norris because defensemen can't win the heart, and so you get into the same thing where like this year, for example, Sidney Crosby is a great example, right? Like he's not going to put up the numbers that Nikita Kucherov and Austin Matthews and Nathan McKinnon have, but Sidney Crosby did more to drag that Penguins team kicking and screaming to playoff relevancy.
I agree.
So Sidney Crosby is more valuable to his team, arguably, but he didn't put up the numbers, even though Sidney Crosby had like a better two-way game, right? Like you get into these subjective conversations, and I'm saying like, and with the Norris, you end up in these things where it's like, well, yeah, was Erik Karlsson a defensive liability? And Erik Karlsson is like the ultimate outlier, but like
we do this every year where we're sitting here trying to figure it out. It should be McDavid and McKinnon, and we should stop arguing about this. But those teams without those players are like get significantly worse,
right? And so you end up in these situations where it's like, is Erik Karlsson the best two-way defenseman? Of course he isn't. But what he did that year, like putting up 100 points on a dog shit Sharks team, like.
It's an impressive feat. I'm not taking
and also the other like there. It was also a year where there wasn't really like a standout number two. Like you kind of the rest of the defensemen split the vote, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess we're left with Erik Karlsson. Like,
did we just get a Mike Trout reference in the chat?
Oh hell God. Yeah, Corey, that's fucking
baseball is entirely different because the value of an individual player is different. Like Mike Trout only gets 4 at bats a game, right? Like if you gave Mike Trout a third of the game, Mike Trout would have carried the Angels to a lot more success, but Mike Trout only gets 4 at bats. Like
so
the value of an individual player is dramatically different.
Don't get me wrong, right? Like I think the easy route for deciding the Norris is points, right? I mean that's kind of what we're seeing, and that's why Chance is upset about it, right? And a lot of people are upset about it. But that's the thing, right? Like how do you weigh Karlsson's?
That's not best defenseman. That's the most offensive defenseman.
I completely understand that. But how do you weigh Karlsson's 112 points mixed with his team that he was on plus his plus minus, right? So there's a ton of variables that are going into the Norris Trophy to where. Like, if you were to go off of strictly plus minus last year, it's Hampus fucking Lindholm. Do you think Hampus Lindholm is winning the fucking Norris because he's the best defenseman in the league? He's fucking not, right? So, like, that's the problem with the Norris is you can't use one single category, and we don't have at this point we're not saying like MVP from the defensive side. With points in defense, right? Like it's too difficult right now.
And again, I'm not necessarily trying to harp on Karlsson as a whole. I think the two he won before that, are very much deserved, 100%. I'm not taking those away from him. I'm just saying the last one he got, I would argue that there was probably was there a that didn't score as many points as he? Yes, but there was also somebody who was much better defensive. And in my opinion, when it's a defensive award. Like when you're a defenseman, in my opinion, your number one goal is to not let goals happen, and then you contribute offensively, not the other way around.
Yeah, so I would say you're like, your number one job is to win a hockey game, and how are you going to win a hockey game? But and you're Erik Karlsson, right? And so you like again, how do you measure value, right? Like. Does Erik
solid defensively and also chip in offensively? That's how I see it as a Norris.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, what is your overall value to the team, right? Like, and whatever that is, right? Like, if you're
like Cale Makar is like the closest thing we've gotten to Nick Lindstrom in a while, in my opinion.
I would say, like, in my opinion, like Cale Makar is the most skilled defenseman of all time. Like I think he's like Bobby Orr. But anyway, that's a separate conversation. But like, if you are like, but it's your overall value to the team, right? So like, if you're Erik Karlsson, like what was Erik Karlsson's overall impact to the San Jose Sharks? Again, acknowledging that he is not the best in his own end. Like he's not going to be that guy.
Say
does he provide overall value greater than like a Roman Josi type guy who is a better two-way defenseman, but does he provide more overall value to his team, right? Like that's what you get into, and that's the splitting hairs you get into where like and it's the same thing with the Hart, right? Like
Roman Josi.
Roman Josi, incredible.
Fantastic.
He's an unbelievable defenseman. But like it's again, it's like the like McDavid, Connor McDavid, not a great defensive player. Does that matter in the grand scheme of things? Not really. Like, no, it's the same thing. Like, not every player needs to be a two-way player in the context of their team. And like,
but it's like when Ovi finally won his cup, right? Like, there, all the years of him banging against his head where he's just, you can picture it in your mind, like replays of Ovi where he turns on the jets in like the upper neutral zone, blows past a defenseman, goes in, cuts across and scores, or he's in his office on the power play. Like Ovi was a very one-minded, one-track offensive player. He even talks about it, like the year that they finally, the Caps started to get it together and they finally won the cup, like Ovi wasn't as good. And it wasn't just, and he was still young relatively at the time. It's because he developed a two-way game. He realized that he was better to his team. You know, these crazy concepts of like back checking. Like this was a new thing that Ovi was trying out.
So,
doesn't exist.
So Barry Trotz actually like gave an interview and he was talking about he ran into, I forget who it was, but it was someone from those Islanders, like the Islanders dynasty, at a resort in like Mexico.
Oh, cool.
And he was asking him like, and it was another year, like the Caps had like not, they hadn't gotten it done or whatever. And he was like, he asked him like, I can't remember if it was like Trottier or one, I forget who it was, but he was like, how is it, how did you guys get it done? And they were like, yeah, it was luck. And so he went to Ovi the year they won the cup. And he was like, look, this ultimately doesn't matter. You're going to be one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, whether or not you win a cup. Like just go fucking play hockey. And then they got, no one wins a cup without luck. And they got saves like Braden Holtby made unbelievable. Like he was unbelievable that playoffs, right? Like they got goaltending, they got bounces. Like sometimes you get lucky. Like I'm not saying they won purely based off luck, but like it was interesting hearing him say it because he was basically like, yeah, I don't know. We just got enough kicks at the can and we eventually got bounces.
Yeah. Well, and I think just good matchups too that year, right? So
yeah, and they finally got the penguin monkey off their back, and then you're just rolling after that. And then, as much as I hate that they call it the save, but the Braden Holtby save on who was it? Was it Marchessault?
I think so.
Yeah, like in game one of that save happens, and you're like, oh, it's like I remember watching it and just being like, oh, that's it for Vegas. Like,
yeah, that's destiny, man.
Yeah, sometimes it just lines up, but yeah, value is such a difficult thing to quantify, and you run into these semantic arguments about how you quantify it and who brings more value. And
how do you quantify Jake McCabe burying a fucking G note tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs, though? What a stallion, dude.
Yeah.
Very happy for him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's cool for him. Like, I think that's awesome.
I mean, he probably had 5 goals all year.
If that, honestly.
Good for him. What a guy.
Yeah,
Jake McCabe.
Honestly, one of the guys on the Leafs I've been the most impressed by this series has been Max Domi.
100%, dude.
Max Domi, like in a limited role on that team, like dude just drives play. And if Tyler Bertuzzi had any finish, he'd be like a 40 goal scorer. Like that dude just finds himself in the slot with the puck on his stick and just like finds a way to not like, it's like a miracle. It's like unbelievable his ability to not finish like grade A chances.
Yeah, that's not good in selling himself because he's on a 1-year contract, right? So
both of them are on 1 years.
See, I think you keep Domi around. Domi has that little bit of fire. He can cross the line a little bit, but doesn't go like too fucking far. Yeah, I've liked Domi. I've liked Domi for them. I think
he was good in Dallas. Like again, like in limited role, but like he generates offense at a good clip for a guy that plays middle 6 minutes. Like he's a good
Jake McCabe in 73 games this year for the Maple Leafs. 8 goals, 20 assists, plus 20. There you go, Chance. Is that your Norris Trophy winner?
He's in consideration for sure. No, it's and you missed when we were off when you were refilling. Cale Makar is like he's the closest thing that I've seen to Lindstrom in a long time.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much defense as Lindstrom, I don't think.
Agreed, but no one again. I'm holding. It's almost an unfair. It's almost unfair.
It is unfair. It is unfair. That's one of the best defensemen of all time, dude.
I agree. And that's kind of my standard is like the closer you can get to Lindstrom, the more I think you deserve the Norris. Yeah. And I think Makar is a bit more offensive than defensive than Lindstrom, but it's close. Like he's still also a very solid defenseman. Like it's not like he gets on the ice and he's a defensive liability. Like Makar is a very solid defenseman and also a fantastic offensive powerhouse.
He's more Ray Bourque than Nick Lidstrom.
Yeah. That's good.
And also like I just people need to put some respect on Ray Bourque's name. Like Jesus, that dude got forgotten about.
That is true.
Like
it's very true.
Maybe I think casuals maybe, yeah.
In the sense of like the when people rank defensemen
in the pantheon,
in like it's like or 1, and then the general consensus is like Lindstrom is like a clear 2, and I'm saying Lindstrom and Bourque are like flip-flopping 2-3. Like Ray Bourque is a much and it's the same thing that we're talking about. Like Ray Bourque, a much better offensive defenseman.
Sure.
Still Ray Bourque was in the league 20 years and finished top 7 in Norris voting every year. And then Nick Lindstrom, who is like the best 2-way defenseman of all time. But then it's like, again, then there are better like stay-at-home defensemen and like
apples to oranges. Yeah,
you get into all that.
It's why I respect well-rounded players. Like that's why we are
Hedman and Yossi, right? I mean that is your epitome.
You're just talking about Yossi. Like I think Yossi's fantastic defenseman. But like even just talking about well-rounded players, like that's why I was so excited when the Kraken drafted Matty Beniers. Like, does Matty excel at anything? Not necessarily, but he's not bad at anything either. Like he is a very good, well-rounded player that is useful in all situations, and he's going to get only better as he gets older.
Yeah, and I love that two-way. The two-way center to me is what you build teams around.
Yep.
Right, because you can throw those wingers, right? You can throw a fucking Phil Kessel. Yep. You can put a fucking Phil Kessel on any line if that center is more two-way than a one-way, right? So I just nothing against Connor McDavid. He's clearly the best player in the world, but I think there is a benefit to having a guy that's putting up closer to a point per game, but is just fucking unreal defensively. Taves, Kopitar, Bergeron, and maybe that's the era we come from essentially, right? Like watching hockey religiously. Those were our top centermen that were winning cups.
St. Louis was a wing, right?
He is a winger.
Okay. Yeah, he was on.
What am I thinking? I'm thinking LeCavier.
Yeah, he was on the Cavier. Those teams.
You can even throw Rick Nash in there.
Nasher was
in his prime.
Yeah.
In his prime.
There
were too many stat. There were too many stat. I think he bounced around. I think
you're right. I think
he Blue Jackets and then Boston and the Rangers and
toward the end of Nasher's career, there were too many like stands of him that were like, no, his underlying Corsi is great, and it's like, okay, we're really stretching here. If you need to justify a player with Corsi,
Someone did post a pretty sick video of like a Rick Nash highlight video.
Oh,
he has a really fucking unreal.
He's really good,
dude. It's like that was an era where like defense was king, and he was just fucking walking through guys, man. Crazy.
Puck drop here in the third. Colorado 3, Winnipeg 2.
Kyle Connor, baby. Kyle Connor's gonna tie this baby up.
1925 on my stream. That my co-hosts are a little bit forward. Once again, if you are just joining us for the end of this game here, we are the hosts of the Dusty Bender podcast. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're also active on Twitter and Facebook. Check us out on there. Boys, actually, real quick, I wanted a quick hit. We'll go more in depth onto it in our show. But the hack attack is fired in Seattle.
Go ahead.
Surprising only insofar as they just gave him an extension.
Yeah, and that's the only.
Sounds like exit interviews had a big factor.
Oh, tie game!
Woo! Stop it, Aaron!
Stop the count!
Stop!
We're tied.
Was it Kyle Connor? Did I call it right?
Was it?
Wow, you're way ahead of me, dude.
Yeah, How do you keep doing this?
I don't.
Illegal. Are you paying for this?
The problem is this is legal.
Are you paying
oh yeah, okay, yeah. No, mine's very illegal.
That's a snipe. What is Gorgiev doing out there? He was almost at the fucking hash marks, dude.
He's one away from Forgiev.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiev.
As Colorado fans bring it up. Yeah, I still haven't.
He didn't even flinch.
Oh, I love those Jets jerseys. I love the fucking the blue and the white.
No, it was Toffoli.
Or did they wear those third jerseys at all this year?
During the season they did, but not. I think like during the season, isn't it a thing where they have to you have to set like your jerseys, because I know like it was a thing with the Canucks, like whether or not they were going to wear the black ones.
Sometimes it depends on the team if they love their third jerseys or not. Like the Ducks, I feel like they were finally like, okay, we got to do everything we can to roll these purples out.
I can't believe they haven't moved. Like, just at least give me the orange jerseys with the fucking with this logo, dude. There's absolutely no reason to continue to do the fucking flying D, dude. That's so stupid.
The duck foot, I think, is a great secondary logo. Like, stick it on the shoulder, that's fine. But it's not. It can't be your primary logo. It just doesn't.
Just
like,
look.
You gotta kind of stare at it. You gotta kind of stare,
dude.
You gotta kind of stare at it for a second. And you go, oh, I guess it's a duck foot. Like,
whatever.
I guess.
That's stupid.
Hey guys, remember when the Winnipeg Jets acquired Tyler Toffoli for like a 4th round pick?
They moved him to the 4th line for this game,
and
it fucking paid off.
And then he just buries a goal to save their season.
Might have saved
a huge goal.
Yeah, and that was a snipe too. Like,
and who like, shockingly, that guy Tyler Toffoli, he knows how to put the puck in the net.
Like, he does, man.
30 goal seasons is he?
Like I'm very surprised. I can't believe that he's getting the Eric Holla treatment. Like, how is he a journeyman? Like, why won't somebody sign this guy?
I think he wants too much. So he's putting up too many damn goals, and
he's worth how much fair market value? How much would you give Tyler Toffoli? 5.5.
Tyler Toffoli to me is a 6 to 7.
Oh, okay. Little
6 to 7.
They probably want to pay him 5.5.
Yes.
5.
And I would pay him 7 if I'm the Kraken. I would pay him 7, and the reason being is
a little high, but if you're not wrong.
He's
you're
a
not
30
wrong.
goal scorer. He's a regular 30 goal scorer. You need someone in Seattle.
Yeah.
To me, right? Like, you basically bring him into a team that doesn't have offense, because that's really all he does, right? Yeah. I mean, he's the power play. He's the goal scoring guy. So Seattle makes sense, I think, but I don't know. So that's a fucking
scored, he scored 30 goals 4 times, but he scored 30 goals the last 3 seasons.
Guy's solid.
Is it,
guy's solid.
Did you say 40 or 30?
30. He's a 4-time. He scored it 4 times.
But that's, I mean, Max Pacioretty's made a career out of being a 30 goal scorer. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right. But also, Max Pacioretty also bounced around quite a bit. And God, Colorado tied it up.
Recently, he was a career Hab for a while.
Yeah.
I think we all forget that Max, but before he tore.
God, you hate to see that.
His Achilles tendon is just like rubber bands now. Like he is the $6 million man, Achilles man.
Oh my God, Hellebuck letting in 4 again, dude.
Jeez. Oh, Av scored?
Christ.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, and
maybe he's screened.
There's like 4 guys in front of the net. Like
I know, but Aaron, you pay him.
Oh yeah,
to not be letting in this. No, this kind of fucking.
Yeah, you want.
He is screened, but
I mean, there's like I don't think he saw that shot. Like
a good tip too. I think from Ranton up.
Yeah,
top,
that's a good tip from Ranton, and
yeah,
like
there's not much to do there.
And that's what I was saying, right? Like Hellebuyck hasn't been great, and the guys in front of him are not doing him any favors.
Yeah,
right? Like
no, but you don't expect it. Like coming into the series, you expected that they weren't. Like you're not sitting here going like, oh yeah, the defense is gonna really stick up for Hellebuyck. It's no, Hellebuyck is going to bail out the defense.
Correct, and
he's just not.
Yeah, and
dude, playoffs. That's underlying that playoffs is a different fucking beast, man.
It is. It is.
You can be the best regular season team ever last year.
Honestly, after this year,
get fucking smoked in the first round.
After this year, I think Winnipeg's going to make my list of like until they do it, I'm not going to believe in them anymore. Like Carolina is on Bobby's list. Like Bobby Ryan told us on the last episode he was on. He's like, I won't believe in Carolina. Like I won't do it until they do it. And I was like I had one of those teams, the Sharks, like the San Jose Sharks. Like everybody's like, oh, this is their year. They're finally looking good. I'm like, until they do it, I don't buy it.
Oh, Winnipeg pushing though. Winnipeg pushing after that goal. I like that. I like to see that. A lot of time left, man.
God, Nick Ehlers needs to get the hell out of Winnipeg. I fucking love Nick Ehlers so much.
Yes, dude. He had such a good start to the season.
Wasted in Winnipeg.
God, it's crazy.
I don't want it to be. I want Winnipeg to be a good team.
I do too.
To be honest,
I don't believe it. I don't believe they're going to win with, again, like number 1 center Mark Scheifele. You want to talk about a defensive black hole? Watch Mark Scheifele play in his own end.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Mark Scheifele to me, especially at this point in his journey, is a second line center, right? And so they essentially have 2 second line centers. Even as we were just talking, right? You want a little bit more of a defensive center. To your point, he's not fucking defensive, right? So he's literally your offensive center that's playing at a second center level, right? To me, that's so hard to. They're not going to do it. I just don't think they're going to do it with this roster. This isn't. I don't know if I'm full teardown mode, but
it's a flawed roster.
Well, it's a flawed roster. They're not going to tear it down. They just gave Scheifele and Hellebuyck 8-year contracts, like matching 8-year deals. So
Scheifele kills me. Hellebuyck 100%. I'm signing that guy.
They're not like so. They're not. Well, and the other problem is the market, right? Like it's hard to get guys to play in Winnipeg. They're on every no trade list, like by and large. Like it's hard to get guys in. I get all of that, but like I just don't. I don't know. I don't.
Oh, fuck.
They made. I mean, they did. I think we forget that they did try to load up a little bit for this. Like, I mean, they did. Like Toffoli we're talking about, but they also got Sean Monahan, who at one time was respectable.
But D needed to be their focus. I mean, everybody knew that D needed to be their focus, and they brought in 2 forwards.
Right.
Like, I don't hate either the Monahan or Toffoli trades
moves, but their weakness was D.
Their weakness was D, and I don't know how you don't see that. I mean, I don't know.
D market's stiff. I don't know, man.
And
it is. And to Aaron's point, right? Hard to bring people into Winnipeg. Hard to bring in a good defenseman into Winnipeg, where it's just you're basically saying like you're here because you didn't have a no move trade, right? Like yeah.
Well, but I'm I'm looking at it going like, God, there were so many. I mean, like, yes, was there a crowded? Well, okay. I mean, to be fair, like in the East, was there a crowded playoff bubble? Sure. That took away some maybe potential suitors at the trade deadline. But in the West, things were pretty much set. And not to mention, like, look at the bad teams. Like, okay, does Chicago have any good defensemen you could pull? Not really.
No,
I'm not taking
Seth Jones.
Yeah, I'm not taking that Seth Jones contract. No fucking way.
Hold on to him anyways.
No. Yeah, there's no way. So
they're going to sign Alex Vlasic to fucking 7 years or whatever.
You could make an argument that you could go after a Columbus defenseman, but maybe they don't want to get rid of them because that's really the only thing that they've got. So
Juracek would have been on the top of my fucking list, man.
Okay.
But I mean, the other thing is like Kevin Cheveldayoff doesn't really make trades. Like Like
See, and that's the problem.
They made like 2 trades, and that was like the most active they've been in years.
Like, try to fucking like win the Stanley Cup. Like, do stuff. Like, fucking just stop sitting here going, we got to trust the process. Like, I'm even getting frustrated with fucking Yzerman. Like, he's doing this old school mentality of like, we got to have players cook like 3-4 years in the AHL. It's like, motherfucker, how does Connor Bedard and all these other young players that are doing well year one not show you that there's young talent that doesn't need to fucking cook in the AHL and perhaps get injured?
So I think the best time to bring those kind of guys up, and Connor Bedard's a special beast, right?
Yeah,
like, you know,
I agree.
That's a whole other thing.
But
I think
sit here and name, you know, the Hughes brothers, and like, I mean,
Jack was terrible his first 2 years. Like
100%. But there's also no excuse that Edmonton, with one of their big glaring needs for Detroit, was on the back end. There's no excuse that Edmonton wasn't playing more games.
No,
right? Edmonton is going to be very good.
No,
He's going to be. He could easily, in my opinion, take over Moritz Seider's number one. I think that
possible.
highly of the kid.
It's possible. Instead, though, they signed a proven bad defensive line of Sherratt and Petrie. Like,
beautiful.
They were bad in Montreal. Like, Montreal couldn't wait to get rid of that duo.
They gave up a first for Sherratt.
They sure did. Everyone was giving up first for fucking Sherratt, dude.
I know. Sherratt, his first year there was not great. He did a little better this year. And I think that might have just been because he was standing next to Jeff Petrie, who literally should be pushed onto a raft into Lake Michigan.
What do you call it when you're out at the bars and you stand next to like the ugliest person?
Yeah, don't give McKinnon and Rantanen a 2-on-1. It's my hot take.
You think so?
It's a bold defensive strategy. Okay. Don't have Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen go on a 2-on-1 when you don't have a good defenseman.
That is bold. That's a bold take.
Well, you know, we're all about hot takes on this.
Right.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I just got there. I hate it. Oh, it's over.
Oh, is it done?
I think it's over, man.
Okay.
Artemi,
welcome.
Yeah.
Hello. Is that Dylan Mello? Yeah. Like,
speaking of Artemi and the Rangers, they look pretty good.
I reserve judgment on the Rangers until they play an actual goalie.
I agree.
An actual team would definitely help.
Like even last year, like they make the conference finals and they play backup goalies in every round. Like I don't believe in that team until if they beat Carolina, I'll believe in that team. But until then, they beat an actual team and an actual goalie, I don't believe in that team.
Why do you hate Peter Laviolette, bro?
It's more that I just don't. There's something about that.
I don't believe in
forwards that I don't get. I mean, the last couple, like they're better at 5-on-5 this year than they were in years past. Like the last couple of years, they were just power play merchants, and like that just doesn't fly.
Oh, but like sad Jets fans, that upsets me.
But like, I just don't get it. And I like a lot of guys on that team. Like I like Kreider and I like Zibanejad and Panarin and all whatever. But like, I don't buy it with that group. I don't think they've got it. Yeah, I don't think they've got what it takes to line up against Carolina or, you know, they put them against Florida. Right?
So I agree with you kind of. Like the Florida part, I agree. I believe Florida is the best team in the East. In my personal opinion.
They're very good, yeah.
Very good. But I kind of look at New York and like the New York Carolina series is going to be sick because I think of them as very equal. Like they're very similar for different reasons. Like I don't know how many times we've gushed about Carolina having easily the deepest defense in the league. I don't know if there's really much of an argument against that. They definitely have the deepest defense. The Rangers are a bit more deep up front, I would say. And then goaltending. I mean, Freddie Anderson's playing great. In theory, Igor Shesterkin is one of the best goalies in the world. It's that series to me is like a less talented Vegas Dallas, and I like that. It's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, it'll be really good.
It's different styles of play. Like
agreed.
Like Florida, you know, they're one of the best possession 5-on-5 teams in the league. Like them, like Carolina. Like Carolina, they're one of the best 5-on-5 teams. And also Carolina's finishers are healthy. Like unlike last year where like Svetch they lost Patrick right now.
Dude,
added Gensel. They've got Kuzi's
I know everybody.
Kuzi looks great. Yeah.
I was about to say. So it's easy to look at it and go like, Gensel was like the big acquisition here, and Kuzi's the secondary. No, man, like it was very like Kuzi. You can just look from like how he holds himself, his personality, and everything. The guy is a diva. He can't play second fiddle. He had no motivation to play well in Washington because pretty much the main goal that night was to pass it to Ovi. We're not here to win hockey games. We're here to get Ovi his record. And Kuzi lost all motivation because not only is the team not trying to win, but now he's, playing second, third fiddle now. So he doesn't give a shit anymore. Now he's on a team that actually cares, and the guy's playing like he used to play. So I think that is a very underrated grab. People don't necessarily see a diamond in the rough kind of thing. Well, no, maybe a diamond. They found some silver. Some
gold. They took a flyer on him, right? Like they got him for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think your underlying point there, right? Like Gensel's putting up the points. He's
Gensel's going to be good.
Offensively is playing very good. He has been playing good since he basically got moved over there. Kuzi is a vibe guy, right? Like I think Kuznetsov has some of the best vibes just from some of the social media shit. I mean, that doesn't say everything, but just from some of the social media shit and some of the stuff that, seeing him play, he looks so much happier. Like he looks so comfortable, and coming from a second, third line center with that type of talent is just, I mean, Carolina looks really good. And I really like what you're saying there, Artemi. I agree. I don't think either team really played their best first round, and but that's the thing, right? I think both of them came into it basically like, okay, we're playing the two teams that basically just
we got a scrum. Kill McCarr
straggled in.
What the fuck happened? McCarr's doubled over, and there was like a scrum happening.
I don't know. I'm watching an area at work.
Throw some fists.
Oh. I don't know what happened. I just saw McCarr like doubled over.
Oh, he got hit.
You just get like a slash in the wrist. Was that what happened?
No, it wasn't even a slash. It was just a little body check, just a little. Velarde definitely. I think he just caught him off guard. I don't think he's selling.
Yeah, he definitely like blindsided him. Oh, and it was it was right through his sternum. Like, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I think it just kind of scared him a little bit.
Yeah, it was about as hard as he hit Jared McCann when Jared McCann was not looking, and
that's it. Yeah, but there's a difference.
Everybody universally
everybody
likes McCarr except Seattle fans, and I love it, and I'm so about it. Fuck McCarr.
Yeah,
he'll still get booed when he comes to Seattle.
Completely agree. Conserving energy in the first round. I completely agree. Both teams were.
Yep. I think it'll be the thing that I would say, Artemi, is like once you get past that, like I think Rangers probably have a better top six, but then you get into that bottom six, and that's where things get dicey. If that bottom six plays even,
dude.
If the bottom six and Lafreniere and Kakko and those guys are like not necessarily like putting up points, but if they're just playing even, like then I think you got a chance. But the thing with Carolina is like that's four deep lines that you got to match up with, and especially like Gensel doing Gensel things, but also he took Seth Jarvis to another level, and
hold on, Aaron.
is healthy this year. Like,
can we get another goal?
How are we reviewing this? How are we reviewing this? I didn't think we were reviewing penalties. They're not reviewing a penalty, are they?
I don't know. That looks weird. They're pulling out the iPad and the headphones.
It says under review.
They said there was no penalty on the play. So they
so is that what they're reviewing? They're reviewing.
You can't challenge that, can you?
I don't know what the impotence was.
That's just two guys fucking battling, and McCarr happened to be in the wrong fucking spot, man.
McCarr definitely looked like he sold it a bit.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't see a penalty there.
Yeah, I hope they're not giving him a penalty. That would be fucking unacceptable, dude. All right, we're good. He's skating down towards the dot.
Yeah, he looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him, but.
Oh, league initiated review wasn't a challenge. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, good, because that's ridiculous, dude. That's just bumping each other.
You know, your sports rule book is very simple when you have
Christ,
an NHL
Winnipeg.
rules analyst on standby. when you have a guy that has to explain the rules to you on standby, like on retainer, like he's an encyclopedia of the fucking NHL rule book, you know that your rule book is super simple and easy to understand.
I mean, every sport has that guy, right? Like they all have. Like the NFL's got a rules guy on hand. Like they all do that.
I guess.
Is that Pionk again, dude?
Oh, is it 6-3 now?
Jesus.
No, but it was a 3-on-1.
Got fucking blown through. Kyle Connor's doing everything he fucking can, man. Holy shit!
Somebody save Kyle Connor.
It's
seriously, get him out of there. If St. Louis says he probably wants out, man. No, he's too quiet. He's not gonna. He wouldn't say a damn thing.
He'll call up his brother DJ,
he's in Winnipeg. No one would hear him even if he did.
Right,
very true. He'll have to send out a telegram.
That's right.
Yeah. I can't believe that one dude. That one dude was from way north of Winnipeg and still had internet.
It's crazy,
yeah, right?
Oh my god, that's right.
God, dude. So far.
Winnipeg. There we go.
Hope he's still in here.
I mean, he's signed through 26, 27. He's,
Yeah, he's here for a little bit. God, I watched Gorgiev and I literally I think I could beat him with a fucking snipe, dude. He's bad. They're just putting it right into his little fucking mitt.
I mean, they don't, but again, they don't need him to, they just need him to not, it's the Darcy Kemper thing, right? Like they just need him to not actively lose games for them. They need him to not be Pavel Francouz.
I need you to be a C+ goalie.
All right. RIP.
Right.
From the league. He retired, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he died and I missed something. I was like, Jesus Christ.
He died.
Oh, dude. You're not caught up?
Yeah, I was like, did I just say something super insensitive? Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
that's the MO of our show. Aaron, you're okay.
Him and Nichushkin were at a hotel in fucking Seattle.
Yeah.
Two walked in, only one left.
Yeah.
They dueled pistols, is what that
good
was.
For them. Wouldn't you though? If it was still allowed?
Oh, I have a very strong belief that if two consenting adults want to duel in a controlled environment, they should be able to.
Yeah, no, I've seen your campaign ads.
Yeah. Vote for
isn't
me.
That just in the Idaho Constitution?
Vote for me for school board.
There must be at least one Bible present if it's in Idaho, though.
I don't know. I've been around Coeur d'Alene. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So
I haven't had any duels lately.
Yeah,
fist fights happen, but that's just depends. At least they're like fair fist fights out here. Like in Seattle, you'll just turn a corner to get a hot dog, and then you get stabbed 9 times.
Just popped by a fucking transient.
It's like, oh, I've been stabbed 3 times. My wallet's gone, and now I'm addicted to crystal meth.
Yeah, all in one swipe. Just the couple seconds, and all those things are true.
What a wave of emotions!
Get in the net. Oh God. Okay, get one. Make it interesting. Come on, dude.
Nah, they're done.
Not with that attitude.
Well, I'm fairly certain that my opinion on the game doesn't influence anything. In fact, it doesn't because I'm 2 minutes behind. So
this is what we were talking about, right? Colorado, they survived the first period.
Yeah.
And you come out the second 2 periods and just take
Winnipeg's
it to them,
they've had some decent offensive opportunities, and under normal circumstances, 3 goals should be enough to get you a win in the playoffs. But unfortunately, you can't allow 5 goals. It's just.
They've allowed 5 goals every game this series.
I know.
You're not going to win this series against anybody.
Sucks,
I know,
man.
and that is a horrible defensive effort. You can't allow 5 goals in a playoff game and expect to win it. Like you just can't. Sometimes you can pull it out of your ass, and there are those weird ones that we see high score, that very first one. But man, you have to be better defensively. You have to be able to limit chances, and they're just not.
Canucks and Preds, by the way, are 0-0 in the third.
Yeah,
Love that,
dude.
man.
50 in how many shots total, Aaron?
Let's see here. There have been
Eight
26 total shots on goal in that game.
26 total shots.
That series has been like watching paint dry.
Shots on goal are 15-11 for the
15. Guys, 15-12 as of right now.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
that should be like after one period, not three. But whatever.
Yeah, it's becoming pretty.
These two teams are at 30 shots apiece for context.
Jesus Christ, man! Unreal, fucking real.
We haven't even talked about that series.
There have been 5 power plays in that game too, by the way.
We haven't mentioned that series
total, or
yeah, there's no, excuse me. Yeah, there's been 2 for the 2 for the Canucks and 3 for the Preds. There have been 5 power play opportunities in that game. There have been 26 total shots.
God, I'm gonna have to pop over to that, man. That's gonna be a good fucking finish.
Yeah, or it'll be.
Oh
God, Aaron just died.
Is he? Oh, is it a tornado? Is he in Nebraska?
Might have been.
He might be in Nebraska.
Okay?
He might have got hit by like the tornado alley.
Whoa, is somebody messing with our stream?
It's not me.
All right.
Why did
that was weird? Our banner even changed.
You were hacked.
Yeah, I was like, when did this become the Think Tank podcast? The hell?
That is very strange.
Shit, man.
Somebody's hacking us, then tell them to go fuck themselves for just a little bit.
It's got to be one of our live stream.
It doesn't matter. We have seniority because we beat everybody in fantasy hockey. So that's right, 7 listeners. You are talking to the champions of the Hockey Podcast Network Fantasy League.
Yeah.
How'd you guys do in the individual league? Out of curiosity.
Well, I won the consolation round, so I will have the first pick next year. So that's good.
I went on a 6-game win streak at the end of the season.
There you go.
It's good. You got the second pick because you lost to me, which is cool.
I didn't even play you, dude. Honestly, I started losing. I was winning, and then I started playing my players, and then I started losing. It's so annoying.
It's always good when your team is better when you just don't. When I
suck, like when
I don't engage with my team, they do better.
Yeah, so that tells you
they're like the Leafs. When you start giving them attention, they start floundering.
Yeah, they needed a coaching change for sure. They were like, this guy doesn't even come into the locker room anymore, and we're gonna win this fucking thing. And then
he's watching the game from the stands with a beer.
Yeah, get him out of there.
I saw someone try to read into the Weeks tweet about the coaching, the Rod coaching.
Yes,
and to say that the Leafs were going to shill out $7 million for Rod the Bod. And I was like, I would love to watch that first practice of Rod skating the shit out of Marner and Nylander and Matthews. Oh my God, that'd be the best.
If anybody
Rod would get there just upset. He would like Patrick Waugh their ass for like the first.
Oh, it'd be the best.
That's what they need. That's what they need. They need Patrick Waugh.
It'd be like did you guys see that Casey Middlestad quote when he got to Colorado? Where he was like, holy shit, these guys practice really hard.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was like his first quote when he got to Colorado was like, oh, they practice really hard here. And it was like, oh God, that's the biggest indictment of Buffalo I've ever seen.
Oh, I would never, I couldn't, the amount of mental abuse you endure as a member of the Colorado Avalanche from Nathan McKinnon it's got to be ungodly.
Just coming from whatever, we're the Sabres to
sure.
Oh yeah, no. I gotta actually try and practice. This sucks.
Going from that to McKinnon body shaming you and then slapping food out of your hand, it's got to be a jarring change.
Yeah, that's got to be something, huh? I mean,
I just think
you can't blame him though, right? Like
No.
every player on Buffalo has to be like, dude. I mean, it's we're at 13 seasons. What's a 14th season like?
Yeah,
it's what's going on here,
right?
And it was all Granato. Granato was the problem.
Hey man, Lindy Ruff's the savior's back.
I mean, Don Granato did what he was supposed to do.
100%.
Like, he made something out of Tage Thompson. He got Jeff Skinner to remember how to play some kind of hockey. Like,
same with Rasmus Dahlin, dude. When he was there, Rasmus Dahlin turned into a good defenseman.
It out. He was never going to be the guy forever, but he did what he was supposed to do. And
100%.
that's
100%.
That's fine.
But Lindy Ruff's going to come in. Zach Benson's going to put up 60 points next year, and he's going to bench him. He's going to play him 10 fucking minutes a night.
Mm-hmm.
Lindy Ruff's not the fucking answer, man. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah,
it's insanity.
I really hope, and I know this is often we talked about this a while ago. I hope the Kraken hire Dean Evison. That's my.
You're so much higher on him than I am.
Love,
dude.
I'm a huge Evison. I love that dude. I'm a big Evison stan.
I think that's you too. You're too close to the flame there. I think
so. No, I totally recognize my bias, and I recognize that I'm an Evison defender. But if they hire Jay Woodcroft, I'd be like,
it shouldn't be.
It's going to be even more mediocre than that. They're going to hire they're just going to bring Bylsma up from Coachella.
Why not? He's had successful teams with guys that really aren't.
I don't know.
So that's not a bad pickup, dude.
All I remember, the only things that come to mind with Dan are he had some successful years with the Pens. He won a cup with them. He won a cup with them, and then for some reason he fell out of favor with them. I don't know why. Because I don't remember the Pens actually being bad from 2012 to 2018. They were pretty good. So I don't know. They must have not been doing well. I don't know. But Dan got fired.
I think it was,
and then he couldn't get another coaching. He couldn't get he was an assistant captain for Canucks score 1-0. I think that he was an assistant coach in Detroit for a hot second, and then they got rid of him there. And then I think he went back to the AHL to figure his life out. I don't know. And he has had success in the AHL. I just don't. Is he worth a shot? Maybe, but I don't know, man.
Dude,
you need to bring in somebody that's we've already found out through player exit interviews that Hackstall was players were going to revolt if he came back. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously something that we weren't seeing where the players were fed up with it. And we even made a pretty well-reacted tweet on a comment where I think it was Admiral City. They put it out there. Unsupposed. Okay.
Well, Mark,
okay.
These guys would have to not be living in the past.
Sorry about that, bud.
So,
impossible for me to give the live play-by-play because I am behind the play. So
I've been trying. We're
currently at 2:02. Colorado, Winnipeg just called timeout. Winnipeg's pulled the goalie, so it's
over.
2 minutes.
Well,
all right,
I mean,
come on.
You say that the Canucks scored 2 goals in 2 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So it's it's not over, but
they need.
But no, the only reason I brought up Evison is because I saw Russo connect those dots, and so
that's fair. I hope that they bring in somebody that's team friendly and going to recognize the potential. I mean, if you've got enough, because obviously it wasn't Kyler Yamamoto being I hate him because he benched me half the fucking season. It was influential guys that were if he comes back, I'm not going to play here. And to me, that's Jared McCann. McCann's got to be one of those guys. He's your leading goal scorer. He's obviously your best offensive player. And the guy was, sometimes he was skating on the fourth fucking line. It's what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think Dunner had some interesting.
Dunn might have
not even exit interview. He brought it up to the media. He had he had some very interesting comments to the media.
What did he say?
He said a couple things there was rifts between guys. Oh God, that was a bomb from the fucking point there. Mm-hmm. There was rifts between guys. He said Jake Evans is a good kid and is a good player, but we're trying to figure him out.
Isn't it Ryder Evans?
Riker Evans, yeah. What did I say?
Jake.
Oh, that is also a defenseman, but
Riker.
All right.
I do like that name.
Off topic, it's still weird for me that it's okay to shoot at the empty net now. I'm so conditioned to, like, if you shoot at the empty net, I'm gonna bag skate you.
Sure.
Sure. It's so weird for me now that it's cool to just just let her rip. We'll take 5 icings and defensive zone face off.
Take a face off, yeah. I know. Is that there's some trauma there, isn't there, Aaron?
Oh, it's pure PTSD of like,
yeah, 100%. Oh fuck, God, yeah. They honestly, if they had got a fourth before the 2-minute mark, I would have felt much better about this.
Yeah,
they're screwed.
And you know, one of those teams was the Nashville Predators, the other is the Colorado Avalanche. So they probably have a better defensive structure to fall back on.
It's just crazy to me. Gorgiev looks like a fucking house goalie to me. So fucking awkward, man.
Taylor, how many shots would it take for you to beat Georgiev?
Realistically?
Yeah. Like if you put the skates on, he's out there.
I'd say you get 1 out of 10.
Right now, 100.
Oh, okay.
Right now, 100.
You got to hear that.
Back in my heyday, yeah.
Back in my prime,
easy. I played some pretty good fucking hockey. Ain't gonna lie to you. I went to nationals. I mean, yes, it's a team game, but I went to nationals 3 times. Like I had an offer to go try out for a D1 team. Like I played good hockey, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He was pretty good.
I would, in my prime, I would say 1 in 10. Because he's still a very good goalie. He just looks like a fucking house goalie. Like he does look like a fucking house goalie. But yeah, 1 in 10, easy.
So you have lots of high water marks. My high water marks are I was on the Idaho State team, and I played rep mostly, and won the Pulaski as a coach.
There you go. That's pretty nice. Yeah. That McCall tournament's so fun, though.
All right, there's the empty netter.
Yep,
it is.
Run it out.
It's done. All right. Well,
all right.
All 4 of you that it lasted this long, thank you for watching with us and giving the eulogy of the Winnipeg Jets. Just couldn't, I'm not going to. Like I said before, I'm not going to my final thoughts on them. I'm not going to bash the offensive effort. It was definitely there. They got the shots on, and in a playoff game, 3 goals should be enough to keep you in it or win it. But unfortunately, you cannot give up this many goals in a game, and that's Hellebuck is unfortunately going to be pointed at as probably the reason. He's not, but he's going to be. People are going to look at this and go like, yeah, the Vezina winning goalie can't have an 8.
Just got fucking worked. Just got fucking worked, dude.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they made him look like a very basic goal. They made him look like Gorgiev.
Yeah,
100%, dude.
Colorado solved them defensively, and the Jets just couldn't adapt. And I mean, like, Colorado winning isn't surprising. Winning in 5 and scoring 5 goals on Hellebuck in every game is extremely surprising. Like
in 6, I mean, they only had 2 games with 5. And those are their lowest scoring games. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It sucks for Jets fans, but
Winnipeg with 8 goals in their last 4 games. That's also not good. So, honestly, a quick side note: ever since Jesse Pollock had his fucking breakdown on Twitter,
I fucking can't stand that.
Jets got smoked. He's worse than Dangle. Him and Dangle are in a whole other league, but he's worse than Dangle.
Avs in 4, as if anyone had Avs in 4. Like it's the most straw man. I made a video for the internet thing I've seen in a minute. Like I can't stand any of those bar down guys, dude. Like I can't do it with them. It all just seems so fake to me.
It is. I mean,
it all is just so performative. Like, I just don't like. Even if I acknowledge that, like, he is a real life Jets fan, it all is just like the most made up straw man bullshit. I can't do it.
No
yeah,
doubt.
it sucks.
There's the handshakes. All right. Well, hockey fans, thanks for lasting with us this long.
I got 1-1 Preds Canucks. I'm jumping over, boys.
All right, jump on over to that. Yeah. Is there a stream going on for that right now?
Yeah, Roman Yossi tied it up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So something got called back, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Aaron.
I'm out of here.
Yep. Peace out, Aaron.
See you guys later.
Yep. I guess I could pull up that Preds. All 6 of you. I mean, you're still with us. I mean, if what's the time left on that Preds game?
I saw 15 minutes last I looked, but I don't know where I'm at here. I'm trying to comb through all the fucking porno pop-ups from this thing. Usually I enjoy it, but I had good old fucking hentai, man. I got 11 minutes.
I wonder how far my feedback is. Let me see here. Let me see how mine is.
Got you at 11:18.
Gotcha. Yeah. For those who are still sticking around with us, it looks like this is for another 11 minutes. This is going to be a Nashville Vancouver stream. So welcome to that. This is Chance Watson and Taylor Wells with the Dusty Bender podcast. We appreciate you guys watching some hockey and having some laughs with us here. It's 9:30 at night here on the West Coast. Having a good time. Love having you guys in here, interacting with you, having some fun with you. Check us out on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We're also active on Twitter and Facebook. Appreciate those subscriptions. Appreciate those likes. Follow us along. We do an episode about every week. Do live streams like this every once in a while, and do some giveaways every once in a while. So check us out. We actually will probably have NHL star Bobby Ryan back on the show next week. So you guys can check out some star power right there and get some in-depth behind-the-scenes perspective of the NHL from that guy.
Like some smart hockey shit instead of just us, you know.
Right, us knuckleheads. I've got my streams 11:07. What do you got?
Mine's trying.
Oh my God, Saros is staying on his fucking head.
Yeah. I'm a little ahead of you. That's okay.
That's fine. Saros just made like 3 back-to-back fucking incredible saves. I really hope this series doesn't end. I really want Nashville. It's not that I'm necessarily rooting against Vancouver. I just like Nashville.
Me too. I've honestly, I've seen some Nashville fans get after Andrew Burnett, and it ain't Andrew Burnett, dude.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Come on. Even Wyshynski jumped on that train and was like, well, that's why he didn't work in Florida. Fuck off, dude.
What are you talking about? If you want to blame somebody, blame Colton Sissons for hitting the fucking post in an empty net.
Dude, it's not even that, right? Like,
no, it's not. But like, I mean, if you're going to be an idiot and blame somebody.
Right. But
like,
Andrew Burnett
Colton Sissons
had that
team. Iced that game and he fucking fucked it up.
Burnett had that team in Florida that was just coming out of they were just coming out of their shell. They were just starting to figure it out.
Yep.
They didn't even have Tkachuk at that point, right? So, like, just to me, like he's a guy that I wanted for the Ducks. I think he's a great coach. So, if you're a Preds fan, do not hate on Andrew Burnett. Just know that this is a special season. You guys probably shouldn't.
You guys overperformed.
Have even made the fucking playoffs.
You're not the Capitals. You're not the Capitals. No. You're a much better team than the Capitals. So don't go there. But you overperformed, and that's good. Like, you shouldn't even be here in the first place, really. So congratulations.
But they've played good hockey all year, right? Yeah. They're not the Caps where they stumbled into the fucking playoffs. And yes, they're getting beat 3-1 by Vancouver. Vancouver was very good, right? So I mean, there's just, there's no Andrew Burnett slander anywhere in my realm. I think that's trash. He's the only reason that they're here, in my opinion. So
I agree. I couldn't agree more. 10:07 left. Vancouver's putting the pressure on down in the zone. I don't know what you guys' feed is on, but watching Vancouver looks like Nashville.
Who started a net for them for Vancouver? I know they were kind of. Right? Was it Silovs?
Got to be. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't really know.
Oh, well, I know there was a good chance DeSmith was going to play. Let's see. Oh, yep. Silovs. So just a power play goal from the Preds, man. Good for him, man. Honestly, is DeSmith and Seelovs enough to make it past the next round if Vancouver can win this game? I don't know, but you got to feel pretty good about your goalie depth at this point, right? Like you got to feel pretty good about your team if your 2 and 3 goalie are playing good hockey. Like,
right,
it's crazy.
All right, this is bonus stuff. I've got a pizza coming, so when my pizza arrives, I'm jumping off.
How old are you, dude?
About to turn 31, actually.
Wow, you old fart.
I know. It's rough. Hey, when are we going to Enumclaw or whatever?
End of May. May. Yeah.
All right.
I know. Oh, off the dome. Pedersen off the dome.
Oh. Come on, Preds, get it together. Let's go. Where's Mike Fisher when you need him?
Where's Mike Fisher? Where's David Ledquand when you need him?
Whoa, 11 listeners. Hey guys, welcome to the welcome to the Jets Avs. Welcome to the Avs Jets After Dark show, where we're now doing Preds and Vancouver just because we fucking feel like it. We went from 11 to 3. How'd that happen?
Yeah, no one wants to tune into the Nashville Vancouver game.
No, they looked at the shots and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Mark, you still with us? Or are you gone? Who knows? We'll see.
Mark's eating his fucking vegetables.
He is. That's right.
Yeah.
Also, our Temi Baldarin enthusiast. I don't know what that is, but we got 4 people that still apparently care enough about us or hockey to stick around, and we appreciate you. We appreciate the shit out of you.
That's right. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, up to 6 now. Welcome to the show, Dusty Bender podcast hosts Chance and Taylor, giving you guys some commentary for the last game here. We already wrapped up Jets and Avs. Avs putting the Jets away. Because of Connor Hellebuck's inability to make a save.
He's allergic to it, I heard.
He is, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're pretty much just here until Chance's Pizza shows up.
We're gonna continue to talk hockey.
81. Is that Joshua?
Get here one day. Oof. Yeah. He's been playing really. He's been having a hell of a series.
He's had such a good season. Dude.
We didn't get to finish on Hackstall real quick. I wanted to kind of to wrap that up because we're going to talk a little bit about it on the show this week. But yeah, I don't know who they're going to get. I know that the wishful thinking is Rod Brindamore because of the Ron Francis connection, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh my God, that's got to be a goal, dude. That's got to be a goal.
What do you got?
Holy fuck, who missed that? McDonough?
804.
Oh, that's so bad. 736. I'm a little ahead of you.
Okay.
All right, let me go refill real quick, and then you watch that.
Okay. All right. Sitting here watching. All right. On my feed, I've got 747. Battle in the neutral zone right now. Nashville's taking the puck into the Vancouver zone. Getting a shot on goal. Oh! Almost an empty netter, completely misses the net. That is just classic Nashville at the moment. Could not buy a goal sometimes. McDonough. Okay, well, at least it wasn't Colton Sissons again. If Sissons missed 2 empty netters, he'd probably quit hockey altogether, as he should. My co-host Taylor will be back here momentarily, folks. If you're just sitting here watching and listening. We were doing the Jets and Avs game, wrap that up, but we've got a little bit of time left here in the Canucks game. Plus, I'm waiting on a pizza, so you guys get some more commentary and some laughs until that pizza arrives. So if I jump off of here, I apologize. You'll be in the good hands of my other co-host Taylor. Taylor is now back, and I did see it. Thankfully, that was not Colton Sissons. If he missed that empty netter, he would have probably quit hockey.
It's ridiculous, though. How do you miss that? He missed that fucking shot, dude.
You do. It's just how that happened. God, I don't want this to go to OT. Hockey is not. This is life's all about balance. Okay, like the first like 2 or 3 series have gone my way, like my picks. So now all the other bad picks are going in. Like
yeah, well, you jinxed it.
I did. Well, I mean, going through our picks already, like, I mean, I was right on Florida, which is good. I was right on the Rangers, which is good. Was wrong on the Avs, and I was right on the Canes. So 3 out of 4 is not bad at the moment.
I think we're both sitting there.
Yep.
Yeah,
3 for 4.
I think there's a very good chance.
I didn't differ too much. I think the only difference was Vegas Dallas.
Vegas Dallas. It's really going to come down to Vegas Dallas.
Yeah, it's going to be Vegas Dallas because we both have Nashville in this series, right?
Yes. And I thought with my heart, I was getting a lot of Vancouver Twitter
fair
stuff, and I couldn't fucking handle that shit anymore.
As much as I want Nashville to pull it out, like I definitely, and not to despair if there's any Kings fans that are still listening, all 4 of you, this late. I mean, we're at 3 hours. Like I'm not going to judge you. If you're a Kings fan, apologize, but if an Edmonton Vancouver series would be sick. That would be really cool. And I honestly don't know who I would like in that series. I'd have to really put some thought into it. Knee jerk is Vancouver. What do you got?
You want me to tell you?
No, don't tell me.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna click over to my other. Nope, that's a dumb feed. Okay, hold on. I'm checking all my feeds.
You got HBO Max, dude?
No.
HBO Max has been playing a lot of the games. They have really good fucking quality too.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have HBO Max, unfortunately. I try to rotate out which streaming services I have. Right now it's Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's a big goal, isn't it?
That's it. That's right there, boys. That's it right there, boys. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Keep the series going. Let's go, dude.
Absolutely.
That's honestly that's a good screen, man. It's a good screen.
Yep.
Wow, don't give one up, though. Don't give another one up, Vancouver. Come on, dudes.
Folks, just once again, posting our links here in the chat. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Those links are down there below, just so for easy viewing, easy grabbing. Appreciate the subs. Appreciate you guys listening in, sticking with us this whole time. I mean, you guys, honestly, we're coming up on a 3-hour mark. You guys are psychos.
On a fucking Tuesday.
That's nuts.
What are you guys still doing up? Go to bed.
We're out of our minds. Like we don't don't have an excuse. Like that's our excuse. We're nuts. Like what are you guys doing? There we go.
Probably calling out of work tomorrow.
What one guy was like, yeah, actually, this is a really good idea. They're making a lot of sense. I gotta get off.
Yeah, they're making sense. One dude was like, yeah, let me call out of work tomorrow. We are writing PTO notes tomorrow, so
yeah, that's right.
Just let us know.
The last 3 of you, like you've made it this far. If you guys if you say 100%. Who you are in the comments right now, we'll give you a shout out on our actual show episode.
And we'll write you a doctor's note.
That's right, absolutely. We'll give you a special shout out on our show and on Twitter because you've lasted this long. Just let us know who you are in the chat. All right, Preds are up 2-1 with 6:05 left. They're out shooting the Canucks 21-17. And I'm at 5:57 now.
Going backwards.
Yeah, definitely Vancouver putting on the pressure right now down in the Nashville zone, trying to move the puck around, gets it back up. That's got to be Quinn Hughes, I'm assuming. My screen is super small, so I can't tell who the players are, but
yeah. What did you think about there was a lot of chatter. I think it was last game. I think it was the one that Nashville blew the 2-goal lead, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy Lauzon just fucking lighting Pettersson up when Nashville scored. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the fuck are you doing, dude? Don't be a dickweed. That's a dick move, dude. Like Lauzon needs to have a target on his fucking back. The rest of that's just not hockey.
Connor Cahill, welcome to the show. Thanks for commenting. Let's see. What do we got here? What are you going? Explain to me how the team that gave away the least amount of goals in the whole season gives away out in a single round.
A lot of reasons.
Playoffs show what the actual team is. And I think there is a difference between a good team and a good regular season team. Some teams are built to do well in the playoffs. Some teams are built well to do in the season. It looks like the Jets the offense wasn't bad. They were scoring enough goals to win a game, unfortunately, but you can't let in 5 goals a game. And when you've got Connor Hellebuyck might win the Vezina. It's very possible he's going to win the Vezina. And he just ended the series. It probably got worse, honestly. When we started the game, it was an 870. And now it might honestly be lower after letting another 5 goals.
Yeah, to me, and I won't. I don't think the Jets' offense. I mean, today they looked okay, right? I think 3 goals should be able to win you some series, but they went 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals in the last 3 games before this. So
that's not good.
Just not good enough from the offensive standpoint. I think what we saw in this series was literally just a team that has been there. Just has the experience, has been able to win in the playoffs and knows what it looks like to win. And at least the core guys, right? Like
it's not even like Gorgiev outdueled Hellebuyck. Like they both played
better team game. Just a better team game.
Hellebuyck played like a D plus. Gorgiev was like a C minus. Like it's not like the series was defined by stellar goaltending. Both were not great. But I just don't. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But that's Agreed. The thing is, right? Like I think to Chance's point, right? You see teams that can elevate to that next level. There is another level, right? We as hockey fans, we can see it, right?
There's guys that are built for the playoffs. There are players. Why do you think Pat Maroon keeps getting fucking signed?
Keeps getting fucking cuts.
He's a fucking gamer. He's got jam. He's a playoff guy.
Exactly, man. Like it's just, and we talked about it earlier, Connor. It's just like, the Bergerons, the Taves, the Kopitars, right? Like they can get to that next level. They play more of a defensive, gritty playoff game, and it turns out usually pretty well for them. So I think it's the same thing that you see with Toronto. There's still a very good chance that they can come back in this series. But I think that's some of those areas that people are highlighting is basically saying, look, playoff hockey is a whole different beast, and I just don't think the Jets have it. I don't think they have that next step with the way that the roster is built right now. So as much as I love Hellebuyck, this is a Hellebuyck Stan podcast that we host. We love Hellebuyck, but there's just. And not to say that it's all on Hellebuyck. There's definitely guys in front of him that didn't step up in this series, and Colorado's just been there. Colorado's just done it before. So, honestly, it's disappointing. I mean, I had Winnipeg in 7 games on my bracket, so not saying that the bracket is everything, but I wanted to see at least a little bit more of a series. I would have been completely okay with Colorado in 7 or 6. Right? We only got to 5 with this fucking thing, so. It's crazy.
Well, Bonus got out.
He's questionable, I think, too. Yeah. Right? Like he's questionable, though. I'd be a little concerned if I was a Jets fan with Rick Bonus there. Has he done it? He really hasn't.
Is it the problem? No, but it is a problem. Mm-hmm. Like
add it to the fucking list, man.
Your main problem is you have no defense. Like your defense is very weak. Neil Pionk is not. He's just not. He's not good.
And I liked DeMello. And I like Morrissey. And I think Pionk is a very serviceable defenseman. But that's where they needed to upgrade at the trade deadline, and they brought in Toffoli and Monahan, right?
We talked about it early in the show, though. Taylor is like, Morrissey. We both love Morrissey. He's a good player, but like you plug him in on what you would consider a contending team, and he's a 2 or 3 defenseman. Yeah. Like there's a good chance that he's playing second line minutes on a better team.
Yeah.
And it's just that shows like he's not bad. He's a B plus A minus guy, but he's not I don't know. I just don't seem he's the best defenseman on that team. by de facto because the next person is probably what, DeMello?
Yeah. I think like playoff success wise, I look at this Winnipeg team.
253.
I got you at 218, man.
Oh shit. Okay, maybe you need to start telling us.
Yeah.
Interject with some updates when you can.
Oh, okay. I'm more of a I'm just
more of a reaction guy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Did you guys see that?
Ooh, hopefully you guys are on the same level as me.
That's fine.
Yeah. Winnipeg to me is Calgary of like the mid 2010s, where they couldn't get over that hump, man. Yeah. They didn't have those players.
Uninterrupted play. Like, I know you're ahead of me, but God, it feels like there hasn't been a whistle in a while. No, I completely agree with you. And unfortunately, I think we saw Connor Hellebuyck play so well that we were expecting that to carry over to the playoffs, and it just didn't. And that kind of sucks. It shows that Connor could not. Yeah.
Oops. Oh.
Was that you?
1005. Apparently, percentages don't work. That's good. 100%. Connor.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And watching the game tonight and calling it live, there was a couple where it was just like, okay, there's not too much he can do there.
No.
But you're looking at. You're
paying him that money, and you have the expectations to make. Like, he's that goalie that's supposed to make those impossible saves.
Right. And maybe that puts too high of an expectation on him, but...
Hold on. Somebody at the door. Stand by.
Okay. Getting that pizza. Yeah, I mean, and maybe that puts too much of a high expectation on him to continue to do that, right? And, like, I understand that, having played the game for so many years, but it's just, man, at some point, you got to come up with that save. You gotta put your team back into the game, which you've been doing all fucking year, and he just didn't. He didn't have that. He didn't have those game breaking saves. He didn't have those game breaking moments to where it was just like, okay, like they can get back into this game, or they can continue to have this fucking lead, because I think that's what they ran into in the first, even game one where they did win. Like they blew that lead, dude. Like they, so to me, you look to your goalie that's kind of been doing that all year. 145.
Okay, so I'm not too far behind, but
yeah. But you look to your goalie who's been doing that all year to basically be like, look, you got to at least kind of do what you did all year and bail us out of a few situations, and not necessarily entire games, but like pushes from the opposition, right? Like, you can't let Trennan, like, you got to come out and battle Trennan in that fucking, what was it, the second or third goal of tonight's game. You got to come out and challenge him a little bit, right? So I think he was slightly off, and there was a couple other moments where it was just like, man, he just doesn't look how he should, and that is concerning, having signed him for, what did you or Aaron said what his contract was? It's fucking 7 or 8 years. That's fucking insanity, dude. So, look, you can have the best goalie ever in the preseason. He can win the Vezina every year. If he can't even get out of the first fucking round, we got a problem.
Yep. God, very impressed right now with Nashville limiting Vancouver. Like, I know they're down 3-1 in the series, but they have done a very good job of limiting this high power offense. 19 shots from this Vancouver team is kind of crazy.
And but that's what Nashville has to do to be successful, right? Like, you essentially have one line there in Nashville. The other three lines up front are literally just fucking defense.
Sure.
Right?
Like,
have
you heard of this guy, Ryan O'Reilly?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryan O'Reilly and Philip Forsberg are very good players. That's two guys. Like, name okay, Gustav Nyquist, I'll throw on that top line with them. Name multiple
not normally
players.
This good. He's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, like, name multiple players from lines 2 through 4, dude. It's just it's very difficult to do. I mean, Evangelista. There's a couple other guys that you can name from 2 through 4, but that's about it, man. Like it's crazy. So my feed, we're going to game fucking 6, man.
All right, baby. All right.
No.
Good win, Preds. Good win.
Let's fucking do it. In Vancouver, too. That's impressive. That is
staving
fucking
it off,
impressive.
baby. All right.
Yep. Saros to Connor's point is the fucking man. So
yep, absolutely. All right, folks, that is it for us. We have made it 3 hours of talking about hockey. That definitely is a testament to us. Kudos to us, really. I mean, at this point, that is truly psycho behavior of how long we can talk about hockey. And we could talk more about it if we really wanted to as we get more followers. Once again, Chance Watson and Taylor Wells with the Dusty Bender podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in and watching some hockey with us and having some laughs, having some conversations with us via chat. We will definitely do this again very soon. So keep an eye out for us. If you're looking to hear more from us, check us out, the Dusty Bender podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on all the podcatchers. We're also very active on Twitter and Facebook. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next stream or in our next episode. Goodbye, everyone.